back, everybody.
It's very smooth.
The sounds of summer. Welcome back to a smooth evening. It's been a while, but we had to give you what you craved so badly. We know everybody's been hankering for our summer anime impressions. And every day I get so many DMs, so many other types of messages, so many other types of communications, text messages, voicemails, all
Public
saying, please put out a podcast talking about the first 10 or so, probably more like 8 or 9 shows that aired in summer a month ago. And I keep telling you, I'm trying so hard. But I'm trying so hard, I'm getting so far, but you know how hard it is to get 2 adults together for like 2 hours?
We're adult. Yeah, ignore the times that we did get together for more than 2 hours over the last month. But that was for us, okay? That wasn't for you.
That was us time. Sometimes you know that. That's a group.
Sometimes mommy and daddy need alone time to work through stuff.
Sometimes mommy and daddy need to rent a soundproof hotel together. And you have to get a babysitter who will just sort of leave you in the middle of the road to talk to her boyfriend. That happened to me once. Negligent
babysitters are kind of what you want. It's a crapshoot for sure.
You don't want one who's too into it. That's weird. You want one who will just like, it's like, he wanted to eat 3 bags of Twizzlers, so I just let him. He said that since he turned 3, he's allowed to eat unlimited Twizzlers.
Oh, I ran all over my babysitter, dude. Holy shit! Oh,
I was a goody. I wouldn't do shit like that. I was intimidated by anyone older than me, so I just like would treat everyone like an adult. You were just a little nasty boy.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was that I played it cool. And I would be like, I was like, hey, my parents, I manipulated these babysitters because I was a sexy little kid.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, if I read a chapter book, my parents would give me a pack of Pokemon cards. Mm-hmm. And I told my babysitter, I'm like, hey, if I read a book, my parents give me a pack of Pokemon cards. They're up here in this cabinet where we keep the glasses.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
And I read, and I'm like, check this out. I'm gonna read this book right now. And I read this book in front of him, which was like a Richard Scarry, like a fucking as simple a book as it could possibly be, well beneath my reading level at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it was like you read it in one sitting, just like how long did it even take?
Ripped it. I ripped it in like fucking 5 minutes.
Reading a book in front of someone to prove it is like, that's a crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, how can you even? I would not be able to read under pressure.
I read it right in front of him, and you bet your fucking ass I got those Pokemon cards, dude. And this was like Gen 2 Gold, Silver, Eon, or whatever the fuck. The package had Umbreon and Espeon on it.
So your parents just had Pokemon cards that they would just keep from you?
Yes, there were rewards.
That's crazy.
There were rewards.
But you knew where they were?
I couldn't get to them. I was too short.
Wow. So so you're devious enough to like trick the babysitter in this crazy social engineering way, but you couldn't like get a stool and like stack it on top of like some books or something?
Well, I was cautious.
I
wasn't.
You had plausible deniability. You were like, she gave them to me. I don't. Like...
Oh, dude, my mom was like, you little fucker.
Absolutely devilish.
Wait, but like, how upset are you gonna be as a parent if your kid manipulates this dumbass babysitter?
I know, yeah.
I'm like, it's like, well, all right, this 16-year-old didn't have the wherewithal to.
Yeah, I'd be like, wait a second.
Yeah, she just let that shit happen. Well, also the stakes were so low for her, like what does she care?
Yeah.
She's getting $20.
That's a lot of money back then.
So yeah, I was up north in the Great North. You
were in town. The boys were back in town.
For a bit, we got to hang out a few times.
Yes.
And I brought you the elixir. We have for years now. For years now, we have been lusting.
Finally over, yes. We've been occasionally, probably, definitely on the podcast, checking if hard Mountain Dew is available in our states that we reside in. It has never been. I assume it never will be. But you happen to be doing some driving, and you got me the goods. You delivered the load.
I got you so much hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you called me, and you were like, how much do you want me to get you? And I was like, give me 2 boxes. So I got 2 12-packs, and you brought a bunch of tall boys, which they make, which is pretty awesome. And I just opened one. This one's
which flavor
this
is
one's
this?
a punch.
Ooh.
This is
this is the Baja Blast. Okay.
Yeah. And it's good. I discovered that if you drink more than 2 in one night, at least for me, my tummy is not crazy about it.
It's
not good. It's not good. But
I was fucked that night after we hung out. I
drank so many.
Fucked. I drank 2 tall boys by myself.
We drank like 15 between the 3 of us, or 16.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's too much. You can't have that. I mean, we were excited, first night with the hard dew, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. And now I've just have had a lot of space being taken up in my fridge, and I'm loving it. And yes, worth it.
They're really good.
They're good.
The first one's really good. The second one is really where things start to go off the rails. Steven got fucking pulled over on the way back from your place after drinking a lot of hard Mountain Dew because
it did happen. Yeah.
The license plate light on his car was out, and he got pulled over, and then he had like a prior.
That's definitely not why. It's like oh yeah, I guess also his license was suspended, but like they're not pulling you over for that. Like he was probably driving funky. Not even because he was still intoxicated. I don't think.
Like texting.
He was probably texting, or he was probably fumbling with some like crazy bullshit he uses to play music in his car. Like he probably has like some adapter that goes into the fucking CD drive that comes into his phone, and he was like, trying to find one particular song by scrolling through, he had to scroll down to 1947, like in the Argentina section of his music, to get exactly what he was looking for, and just passed a cop going like 70 in a 40.
Yeah, he was driving 95 miles per hour while getting his preamp set up in his car. He's got his fucking block rocker set up in the trunk, so that he can listen to these shitty vinyl rips that he's got from albums that nobody gave a fuck about when they came out.
He was on cruise control, like in a small village, like so that he could do mock tango moves in his car by himself.
Eyes closed.
Yeah. He was doing in place sitting tango to the music in cruise control.
He's got a vape in each hand. It's
all the lights on in his cabin so that you can just see him.
People have to know that he does tango. It's like, sir, I assume you pulled me over because you saw my moves.
I actually do tango. Yes, I was just doing the moves right now.
Yeah, so we had to go. I had to.
At least he wasn't far away. I mean, you had to drive him back, but he was like 2 minutes down the road. Somehow in 15 minutes, he got 2 minutes down the road from my house.
It was crazy. Yeah.
We were like, damn, how are we going to find it? Oh, there he is. He's just right there.
I took him home, and then the next day I went and picked him up and brought him back to your place. It was a full hour to go to
it's
go
like
to
half
his
an hour.
place.
I don't even know. I'm going to hang out with him tomorrow. I don't know. I still don't even know what happened, because you said you were just going to pull a little fast one and just like drive for a while and then go back to my house so that he could just drive home.
Nah, he was paranoid. He's like, let's just go. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, fine.
He's like, oh, I'll just let you drive me. Like, okay. Yeah, I mean, did he go to work? Like, I noticed I woke up in the morning.
He called in. He called in.
Oh man.
So the officer, he was like looking through. I gave him my license, and it's a Texas state license. And then a call came through on the radio, and he's like, "I'm not even gonna bother running that. I'm gonna go do this stolen car thing." And then he took off. So like, we easily could have.
Jeez.
Yeah. So there was. I heard it on the radio. He's like, "Yeah, we got a stolen car." And, in whatever area it was. And we easily could have just come back and gotten it, but I think he was just tweaking, which is understandable. Getting pulled over is stressful.
I don't even think you can steal a car in New York. This is not even a joke. I think genuinely they charge you, if you steal a car, they charge you with what's the word? Unauthorized use of motor vehicle. Like the person didn't give you permission.
Kind of cute.
Yeah. Because you can't like they didn't give you permit. That's like for like if you take like your dad's car. And he's like, "What the fuck, son?" But they just use people who like fucking hotwire a Kia now.
That's kind of fun though. Because like
it's not good.
Well, to think about it though, everybody doing that is 17 anyway. So it's
and they're gonna be doing it until they are 24 and they
do a telephone pole.
Well, until they get like 15 to life at 28. Yeah, so.
We should just scare them straight.
We should put a ton of bait cars out that like they start talking to you and they're really mean.
Oh,
demon Kias,
like an evil kit from
like
Knight
a nasty
Rider.
Kia. Yeah. And it like
nagging you.
Yeah, just like it lures you into thinking you're going on some kind of adventure, but then it just keeps like trying to take you off of cliffs or whatever.
Oh, yo! What if it was like a haunted car kind of situation where like it starts driving itself?
Oh, like that movie.
Or
isn't it like a Stephen King?
Yeah,
the living
is it a lady name?
Isn't it like a lady name?
Shit?
Yeah, it's not Carrie, but I was thinking Carrie, obviously, but that's a different Stephen King.
What about you have an officer in the trunk, right? So like,
so he knows where you are, so he just has, That's probably not safe. I don't know.
No, you have the officer in the trunk, and then once the car gets taken, then the officer climbs out of the trunk, and then is like, "You're under arrest" in the back seat.
Yeah, you should arrest someone in a moving vehicle. That's a good idea, probably.
It's New York State. I'm sure they've done way dumber. So I was up in New York. We watched some movies while I was up there. We watched. God, what did we watch? We watched Madam Web to close that loop. That's another ongoing thing that we've had here.
Second watch through of Madam Web for me. Yeah, I showed you. Yeah, I already talked about that a bit, but I think I talked about it on this. But yeah, pretty enjoyable.
So Sony really should have asked DC for the for whatever keys to the vault that they used to lock up that fucking Batgirl movie that they made a few years ago that they locked up.
I forgot about that. I always figured that would somehow see the light of day.
No, they should have jammed it away in there. There's no way that Batwoman movie's worse than this. Also, like, there's no way that if Sony saw fit to release that there's no way that Batwoman movie is so much worse that it deserves to be locked away forever. The bar is so low,
Yeah, man, I don't get how everything gets leaked except for like actually interesting stuff. Like, so lame. People are just like, oh yeah, here's like the Slack logs or the Discord of like everything ever, but I can't give you a movie.
So Madam Web was definitely entertaining, but we watched Elektra immediately after, and we were kind of having our minds blown by that because
we have to explain, like, how did you even come across Elektra? Like, because it's another, I guess Marvel, I assume.
It is. Oh yeah, this is a Fox Marvel movie. This is is when Fox had the licenses.
It's a spin-off of Daredevil. Elektra's in Daredevil. Right.
Correct.
So it's that era.
The Ben
Affleck
movie, yes.
And it's just sort of we were thinking it would be like a sort of mid-2000s sort of femme fatale movie in the vein
Ultraviolet,
of like Underworld. Yeah, Ultraviolet. What's the other one? Aeon Flux. Not as bad as Aeon Flux. I don't even remember Ultraviolet, but maybe that was really bad too.
It's awful, yeah.
But we're watching Elektra with, what's her face? Jennifer Garner?
Yes.
We're watching
an actress that I already was predisposed to not like. I've never liked her in anything that I've seen. And we're watching Elektra. We're like, this movie's actually not that bad.
Oh, well, that's. I mean, we noticed that, I think, second. What first became immediately obvious, was that it's the same fucking movie as Madam Web.
It's
like
crazy.
Exactly the same movie, and we could not believe it. And we were like, there must have been something from Madam Web that led us here. There has to be some connection, but like, no, they just coincidentally were entirely the same movie. She has the same character. She has the same character arc. She has the same powers. And it's just like 100 times better. It's so much better as a movie that it's actually decent, or at least it seemed decent after watching Madam Web again. And I think I noticed they have the same like critical scores. They both are like abysmally scored. They are both huge bombs. They both got like 10% Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like, yeah, Elektra is just like on a completely different level.
It's
everyone
good.
That shit. Yeah, that shit where people are like, man, like, movies like are uniquely noticeably bad now, and everyone's like, nah, there's always been bad movies. It's like, no, you find the shittiest movie of 2005 or whatever, and it's like noticeably like way better.
We did also get the other end of the spectrum, which is we watched Elektra, which we were surprised by the, very, very similar to Madame Web in a lot of ways. Similar kind of movie, similar budget range, similar box office, similar reception, just basically 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
And then we also saw Miami Vice, which is like a movie made by an auteur from basically the same era, which is such an awful piece of shit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
you were like, we gotta watch Miami Vice, which the 2006, the Miami Vice film,
right?
Michael Mann, because Michael Mann produced the original Miami Vice. Maybe he created it too.
He created it. He created the original show from the 80s.
Yeah, the show in the 80s. And I was like, what is this? Okay, sure, let's watch it. And yes, it is an unbelievable piece of shit. And the funniest part was when I was like, wait, why? How did this come up again? And you were like, I watched it. And I was like, when? And you were like, a couple nights ago or whatever. And I was like, by yourself? And you're like, yeah, you were just like, let's check out Miami Vice by ourselves. And it's like, the stick-to-itiveness to keep that movie on, when you're just sitting there, when you're just chilling.
I was so perplexed by it because we've talked at length before about how I think Collateral sucks shit. I think Collateral is a really bad movie, and I think that I like Michael Mann's 90s output, and I basically resign myself to, like, I'm going to watch every Michael Mann movie and just get to the bottom of whether or not he's a total hack. And when I saw Miami Vice, I was like, instantaneously, I'm like, oh no, it's true. He is a hack. Like, Michael Mann is a bad director. Michael Mann has made bad movies in the aughts, and this is more Collateral. But the thing that was so I couldn't quit it. The reason I couldn't quit the movie was how uniquely bad it is. Like, it's not bad in the conventional sense of, like, you just have a bad script, you just have some bad acting. It's just got a bizarre atmosphere to it that is unlike any other bad movie I've really seen.
Yeah, nothing fits together at all. Not like it's not remotely cohesive. I mean, we were like, even as we were watching it, we were really struggling to describe like even what we were seeing, because it's so strange that you like, we were talking about, like, if you were to describe this, it sounds so unremarkably bad, but you really have to see it, because if you're just like, oh, it's like it's like, it's like a lot of the shots are just filmed with like a shitty camera or like GoPro or whatever, and like the music like doesn't fit, and you would just hear that and be like, oh, okay, so it's like a bad movie. But it's like, no, you don't. You really can't imagine like what's going on in this shit. It's crazy.
Well, you have Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx, who are both actors that have been good in other movies, just
eating
the worst,
shit,
the
eating
worst
their own fucking dicks for the
on
whole
screen.
like everyone working on it like hated them and wanted, like, the editor like fucking hated, like they fucked the editor's wife. They they Eiffel Towered the editor's wife, and he was
they
like,
must have gotten sabotaged.
Fuck these guys. I mean,
Because like Jamie Foxx, like, they look like they're just using the tail ends of clips, like after he's delivered lines or something. Yeah,
and they're always in like white suits with like suspenders and sunglasses, and like Colin Farrell has like a really cheesy fake mustache, and like they're just giving him absolutely no favors with anything. Like, it's like, this might as well be a fucking stage play with you standing there looking like a fucking doofus. Like there's no style to it at all when it needs it.
The most garbled lines I've ever heard.
You can't understand anything anyone's saying. Yeah. It's indescribable. Crazy.
The script is incoherent, and it's almost like there wasn't a script. It's almost like they shot a movie that didn't have a script. Like there's no exposition that you would want. Like how there's movies can be overwrought with exposition.
I don't even know, and obviously I've never seen the original series, but it's just like, Miami Vice, like Miami drugs. It's like neon, clubs. Everyone's wearing white, very 80s, apartments. A lot of big, brightly lit apartments. You got ferns, cocaine, right? I get the aesthetic. And it has some of that, but it's just like, what the fuck? Well,
they also just like refused to get people that could just deliver lines in English. The only actor in the entire movie that I could tell that has a naturally American accent is Jamie Foxx. And then you've got Colin Farrell, who's obviously not an American, doesn't have a great American accent in the movie. The main love interest is an Asian lady who cannot deliver lines in English.
She learned her lines phonetically. Yeah, she's reading sounds and sounding them out.
All of the antagonists are Hispanic. He can't deliver lines in English. And so there will be these like tantalizing few moments in the movie where it feels like a real movie for a bit. Like it'll click.
There's one really, really funny movie where it's like a typical scene where like people are just talking and you can't understand any of them, and it's just like a fucking mess. And then suddenly Colin Farrell just turns and looks at the open sea, and it's like a close up of his eyes, and he's like, oh, and like this totally different like space and music plays, and he's just staring out at the open sea. And that's not part of his character. Like he's not like,
no,
it's like he's like losing his mind or like, he's like having some kind of break or like he's losing it or something, but that has nothing to do with his character. Like nothing's going on with him at that point. Just suddenly he looks at the scene and he's just like, oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
I can't even describe the characters really. I can tell you what they do, but I can't tell you what they what their characters are.
I mean, honestly, just watch Pain and Gain. That's a very drug-addled Miami. That's the perfect good version of this, except for it's like different. It's from bad guys' point of view.
Usually more fun like that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like that's a movie that made me. That's a movie that feels like a coked out Bender, but in a good way.
So we watched that again. Just go watch it. Like I know.
I don't know if you need to watch that one.
Watch the first 20 minutes of it, because the movie does start with the first frame of the movie has Numb Encore by Linkin Park Jay-Z playing, which is hilarious. It's so funny.
Yeah. The music. There's a lot of club scenes, and the music they play in the clubs is, I gotta say, inconsistent at best.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Scumbag Steve is here. I thought you two would not seek this podcast nomination after barely a week since the failed attempt. No correlation, none at all. We were trying to drum up some hype for the podcast, but yeah, we I
missed my shot.
Yeah, it's unfortunately Happy D has died. He has been filled with at least 8 rounds of 308 from multiple government employees. That one really backfired, no pun intended, on us. We were hoping to drum up some get some eyes on us, get eyes on the cast.
It was wrong of them to Photoshop out the actual shirt that he was wearing, which was a shirt that just said "Gang Stalking Anime Podcast" on YouTube.com.
We gave him the shirt that the front was our podcast, but the back was Demolition Ranch, and that's what people picked up on. I was like, of course, people are only going to see the back. God damn it!
It was a collaboration event. It was like
we finally got the collab with Demo Ranch,
and we're like, really? This is your angle?
This is genius, man. What the hell? This is great. Yeah. This is going to get us so much. And then, oh my gosh, they didn't see the front of the shirt. What the hell?
They really made a mistake.
So it's everyone's already forgotten about it. Just a huge bungle all around, I got to say.
And also, Joe Biden didn't understand what the bribe was for anyway. The bribe was to go, when he announced that he was continuing his campaign, he was going to shout us out, Gang Stalking Anime Podcast on youtube.com. And you have to make sure that you say gang stalking, not stalking, because that's something that throws off the YouTube algorithm pretty hard. It's really hard to find this podcast. Instead, he dropped his campaign. So that was a little disappointing.
That was, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, he did not get the memo.
That guy, wow. I mean, he's senile. Can you believe it? That pretty much covered. I mean, we also watched Scanners, which I don't have much to say about Scanners, really.
Yeah, that's the more, and I liked Scanners just fine, but the more Cronenberg you see, you're like, oh yeah, these are all the same. These are all the same, and they're very like low key, and the soundtrack always sounds exactly the same, and it's like, it's
I did like Existence a lot. I think about Existence pretty frequently, actually.
Oh, did I watch Existence with you? Was that what we were together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you like? Yeah, I feel like it might be one of those things where like the first one you see is always going to be your favorite, because like I love what's it called, Videodrome so much.
Well, the it's kind of like Wes Anderson, where it's like Wes Anderson movies. Like everybody can stomach like 3 or 4 Wes Anderson movies, and then everybody hits a point where they don't want to watch any more Wes Anderson movies. I get it.
Yeah.
And for me, I watched Grand Budapest Hotel, and I was like, I'm fucking so sick of this shit. And that's like a bunch of people's favorite Wes Anderson movie. And I'm like, I just had seen all of them, and that was my stopping point.
Yeah, at the very least, you got to be in the right mood. I don't know.
Royal Tenenbaums, one of the best movies ever made. But, like, I'm sure there were a lot of people who were burned out because they'd seen Rushmore and fucking Bottle Rocket.
Well, as for me, shit. I watched the Royal Tenenbaums, at like 1 p.m. on a Saturday, like in your house that you guys were renting, like in the living room with like full sunlight, hung over, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? What is just people talking?"
So I made a fucky wucky this week.
Oh no!
I made a fucko boingo. So
I'm gonna need another hard Mountain Dew for this.
Yeah, go. You just cracked it. Okay, all right.
Don't worry, I already had it.
It's so funny that the last podcast we recorded the Fancy Cast. Is that not out yet?
Yeah, you will see the Fancy Cast soon. It needed a lot of editing. No, we recorded it, and then you came up here, and well, actually, I had to go out of state, and then you came up here, and then I've just been lazy.
Right. Well, I mean, so we did the Fancy Cast, which had the highest production value of any podcast we've ever recorded.
And YouTube wasn't working that night.
And then tonight I am drinking boxed wine. So
yeah.
That's, and you've got hard Mountain Dew. That's where we're at right now. But
yeah, it's what's the saying? Whether I am
what I am. Popeye.
I was gonna say, isn't it like if I drink liquor or water tonight, I'll be drinking water in the morning either way, or something. I don't know. He says it in Empire of Dust. But yeah, Fancy Cast.
Let me go refill, and then I'm gonna get into these anecdotes because I got to talk about my fucky wucky.
Oh God, there's more. We got to talk about so many shows. Oh, this flavor's better. What is? Oh, this is watermelon. Yeah, the watermelon is okay. It depends on how it hits you, because it's this is all like these flavors and these are 0 sugar, so it's just like, I also went. So yeah, since the last episode, I was in Nebraska. I flew out to Nebraska for doing a little business reasons, and I don't have much to say about Nebraska, but I did go to the zoo in Omaha, Nebraska, and I didn't know that. I mean, I could have, I didn't know that Omaha had a zoo. Why would I know that? But what I especially didn't know was that Omaha has like the craziest zoo in the entire fucking country. Like bigger, I don't know if it's bigger, but it's like, it's more renowned than the LA Zoo, which I have heard of. And We spent like 6 hours at this goddamn zoo and we didn't see like a quarter of it. It's fucking crazy. I'm talking about the zoo in Omaha.
Oh.
Which I didn't know Omaha has like, I don't know if it's the biggest zoo, but I think it's like, it's more, more acclaimed than the LA zoo. It's like the fucking craziest zoo in the country.
Neat.
Yeah, and I was just, like, you just, like, in concept, the zoo doesn't excite you very much, but then you're like actually like looking at real ass, monkeys and shit, and you're like, holy shit! Like, when you're a kid, like you're just like, yeah, you see, you're just like, because everything's new to you, you're not used to what's crazy and what's not. But I'm a grown ass man, and I'm looking at like there's just a big ass monkey standing right there, like that's nuts, I will no longer make fun of Joe Rogan guys for talking about monkeys and how crazy they are, because I'm just looking at, I'm watching these monkeys and they have these giant, they have this like 50-foot tree and they just like will just zip up the whole thing in like 3 seconds and then throw poop off of it. We're looking at the orangutans. At one point, the orangutan like climbs up the fence and it's just like right next to us, and it just like spread eagles like on the fence, just like just like right there. Like, it's great. There's big spiders. There's giant domes there, like giant glass domes.
Right.
There's 2 of them, and you're just walking around and there's like birds flying around inside the dome.
I'm reading the Wikipedia page right now. In 2014, it was rated the world's best zoo.
I believe it. Yeah, man.
It is based on an algorithmic assimilation of millions of reviews for 275 major views worldwide. So, yeah, and then it's
just remember to bring a water bottle, because otherwise you will be spending like $6 for a bottle of Dasani and waiting 10 minutes for it at the station, at the place you order it.
I wonder how many of my bad places have been because I was super dehydrated. How come nobody gave me a gigantic ass water bottle as a kid? I think we've talked about this before. Just feeling like, hey, becoming an adult and realizing that you were just dehydrated all the time, always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do not approve of like I think there's been a massive overcorrection. Like the current like water culture is like too much. Like the drinking like a fucking gallon of goddamn water every day, like chugging water constantly. Like that's probably not normal. But yeah, I was like basically drinking no water until I was like 22, and I was like, I've told this, but yeah, I was like getting food stuck in my esophagus, probably because of that. Because I had no lubrication there, and I had to like get a tube down my throat that put a camera down there and everything.
Oh yeah, there's no water in here.
Yeah, you got to do at least a little bit. No, I have eosinophilic esophagitis. But yeah, it's then I started drinking water, and it just kind of fixed itself.
I'll give you a little bit of that.
What?
Esophagitis. I'll give you a little. I'll get something stuck in your throat, dog.
Oh, okay. That works, I guess.
Yeah. So. The fucky walkie I made.
Oh, yeah. What did you do? What's
So, going into this week, I had 3 different dates planned with 3 different girls.
Oh my fuck! Well, whatever, man. Okay.
But hold on.
Cool.
No.
It's definitely important to the story. You're gonna be like, yeah, and then I accidentally,
I
made the wrong order on DoorDash. Anyways, I fucked 3 chicks. Yeah.
No. The mistake was that one of them is a person that I've known for a while that I wanted to go on dates with. I wanted to take her out, and then the other 2 were girls that I just met on Hinge. And I accidentally scheduled 2 of the dates on the exact same day.
How the fuck do you like? That's how do you not at least check? What the hell?
Well, I was working this weekend for both days, and I was like, responding to texts over dinner and shit. And I thought I had scheduled one of them for Monday and one of them for Wednesday. But no, I had put myself into a sitcom scenario where I'd scheduled them both for the same day. And I took
how far apart? Like similar time, or?
I took one of them to lunch, and then I took one of them to dinner on the same day.
Well, that's not that bad.
Well, I'd been coming off of 3 weeks of just interacting with people every single day and being like extremely social. Like I'd gone to a couple of weddings, And then I shot at weddings, and I was really fucking like, I was socially drained. Yeah. And then realizing that morning when I woke up, like, holy shit, I have to go to lunch with this one girl. And I got to lunch with the girl, and immediately I was like, uh-oh.
I can't do it.
This is not.
I can't turn on the charm.
I was like, immediately, like, this is not working out. We have no chemistry. And I was a fucking dumbass. And I had been like, well, we'll go get lunch, and then we'll go shoot some pool. And within like 5 seconds of having lunch, I'm like, okay, this is not working out. But I still have to go shoot pool with this girl because I said this was the plan. So I spent 2.5 hours or 2 hours with this girl that I knew nothing was going to happen with. Trying my best to be like invested in what was going on, which was like taxing, we'll say. It was also expensive because I paid for everything. And then
that's that's, you run that risk.
So I go on the next date, and I like the second girl more, but she's a paramedic, and she's talking about the job that she does as like a paramedic who's completely desensitized to all this stuff.
God, is she just... Oh my God, this is a sitcom. Holy shit, dude, your life is fucking straight. You're an ABC show. Holy fuck. It's crazy.
So she's like talking about, she's like, yeah, I like doing the really visceral jobs because they're more interesting to me. And
holy fuck, this chick's a freak. Oh my God.
She's talking about like, we are just getting to know each other. We are eating dinner, and she's talking about like,
food. Yeah, oh my God,
we are eating dinner, and this girl's talking about like, yeah, I did this one recently where this guy's leg was hanging on by a thread, and his son was there with him, his very young son, and there's like, oh, what are you gonna do? The kid's watching, and then the guy we put him up on the table, and then he turned a little bit, and his leg fell off the table and ripped off. And I'm like,
oh my God, she's retarded. I love her just from this story. She's like legit brain dead. This sounds amazing.
I was like, I'm like, do I try to fuck this chick? And I couldn't do it. I was super, it like
coward.
Just not the first date, not the first time I'm ever meeting you in person. We could talk about this eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
yeah.
But it was the only thing she talked about. It was like all she was talking about. It's like, yeah, she's Australian. She came over from Australia specifically because she wanted.
Now you're getting too specific. There's gonna be able. There's not many people who are gonna meet this description.
If she hears, no, apparently it's really common. Apparently, like a lot of Australians will come over here because they get a lot more experience on the job. But yeah, I was just like super put off by that, and we went to a bar, and I saw an opportunity where I'm like, I think I can throw this date right now. I think I can really, now. I have my out. Which is that I saw a guy in the bar who had a really interesting camera. And I'm like, I can go right now and talk to this guy for 5 minutes. And if I talk to this guy for 5 minutes, when I come back, she won't be interested in me at all. And I
just knew that.
Yeah, I got up and I went, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. This is really interesting to me. And I went over and talked to this guy. And when I came back, she's still like, I don't think that she was bothered at all. But I had kind of diffused any sort of like sexual tension that might have existed. Because like she's literally talking about like, yeah, working with younger paramedics and like how they can't handle like, oh yeah, I'm not going to try to do an Australian accent right now, but she's like, yeah, we went to
we met this girl, her pussy exploded.
We met this guy and he had blown his brains out and he still had vitals, and you got to try to, you have to help him if he's got vitals. You got to try to keep him alive.
You got no brain in there. What are you doing? It's not how you use a gun, mate. He's not supposed
I'm it in somebody else.
Supposed to do it that way. No way. Yeah.
But yeah, hearing a girl talk about like suicide attempts and limbs falling off and stuff.
Was she doing it in it depends on, is she doing it in like a really like wide-eyed, like excited way, like she's just a nerd, or is she doing it in like a really uncaring, crass way where she's just like whereas you're just like, oh, you should probably like, it's weird that this just all breezes past you. I don't know. There's two ways
right
I feel
in
like
the
this
middle
can go.
ground. It was right in the middle ground, and I didn't want to find out. I was like, and if she was, I'm not gonna go in any further in detail, but like, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Is basically where I was at. I'm like, oh, I think I'll, this just isn't for me. I'm not
even
I don't want
second date. You're not even gonna give it no.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It wasn't clicking like that. If there was like some really, really good sort of like chemistry there, and then she had this quirk of wanting to talk about brutal scenes that she'd been on, like people getting just accordioned by cars and shit, like maybe, but no, it wasn't clicking like that. So yeah, that was my day where I had one date that was like just a fucking explosion on the launch pad, just like that didn't even get off, didn't even get like into the atmosphere at all, just immediately tragic explosion. And then the second one was kind of like it's like a train wreck that you can't look away from,
Yeah.
And then my third date went great. So, but yeah, that was my fucky wucky day. And then one more anecdote before we talk about anime. I know we've been fucking talking for a bit here, but I mentioned that I've been watching the Red Sox because I grew up a Red Sox fan, and they've been pretty bad this year, but they've turned things around and they're back in it. And I was at the gym, and I saw a guy wearing a Red Sox hat, and I like we made eye contact. And I'm like, I pointed it like at my head is like at like a hat, and I like gave him a thumbs up. And then he rips the earbuds. I was like, the fucking Sox are so good this year. And I was like,
that's a Boston ass guy. That's the most Boston guy.
Have you been watching the fucking Sox, dude? He was fucking off, and he's like, he just starts listing every single player off. And I'm like, no.
Christ. Yeah,
no.
You found a real one. You didn't find like a, yeah.
Are you from fucking Are you from Boston? Are you from Boston? I'm like, no, I'm from Western,
it is unusual are your parents from
Boston?
Right. Why did you even, why are you a Red Sox fan?
I liked the Curse of the Bambino growing up, and I liked. I hated the Yankees because the Yankees were like the predominant fan base around us. So I wanted to be a contrarian. Yeah. Right, yeah. So, and I hated the Yankees bought all their championships, basically. So I became a Red Sox fan, and that paid dividends pretty fucking quick, I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah, immediately.
I mean, I think it was 5.
Imagine all of the young boys for the last 100 years who have just been like, I like the Red Sox. It's going to happen one day for sure. And then they're like 60 and they die of a heart attack like before whatever happens. And you're just the most like, because kids are not supposed to receive that type of instant gratification where it's like, I bet my sports team, they're cursed, but they'll win one day. And then it's just like immediately.
David Ortiz,
yeah.
Manny Ramirez. Like the most stacked roster ever.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my God. Yeah, there was the I'm shipping off to Boston.
You just hopped right on that bandwagon at the perfect time. Yeah.
9 years old. Yeah, fuck the Yankees.
Yep.
But yeah, I was way outmatched by this guy. Like like this dude he must have been torqued up on like 400 milligrams of caffeine and just like so much pre-workout because he was locked in. He was locked in.
Yeah,
and
he was on a bunch of powder. He was taking some street overlord.
And then the second that the conversation was over, immediately back to working out. Like I turned around for like half a second to like look at a machine, and then he was immediately back into fucking pumping iron. It was so fucking funny. And it was one of those ones where like it would have been really awkward if it wasn't also the most Boston guy you'd ever interact with.
Yeah, no, they don't fucking care, dude. Like, they don't even need meth. They're just like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was so fucking funny, dude. I've seen him there a few times. If he's there at the gym tomorrow, because we go to the gym at like basically the same time, I'm gonna talk to him about the game tonight because we're.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, he'll love that. Yeah, my basis for what the like prototypical Boston guy is I have a very distinct memory of when I was a very young kid. You know, I would go into my dad's pizzeria, and I remember I was probably like 6 years old, and there was this. I was sitting in one of the booths out in front, and this guy they knew. I don't know if he worked there or if he was just a guy who was like a customer regularly, but he came in and I think he had been jogging or something, and he was in like a white beater, like a skinny guy, in this wife beater, and they were talking to him, and they said something about how he and he was just rambling, and he kept going like, dude, I fucking this, like, fuck, and they're like they motioned to me, and I'm like 6 years old, and they're like, man, like ease up with the cussing, and he's like, and he's talking about like how he's been exercising. I think he like looks good. And he goes, "I'm sorry, man, but I just look so fucking like." He's flexing. He's like, "I look so fucking," and they're like, "Shh!" Like
this might have been the same guy.
Yeah, it's just like that fucking guy.
Damn, dude, that's great stuff.
Yeah.
They're the best. I think we've gotten a lot of mileage out of Bostonians over the years, I think. What was it? Baby want Gronky? What was the fucking... That was a funny bit. Did we ever clip that?
Gronky want... Yeah, I don't
whatever
know.
It was. Tommy want Gronky. And it was
oh, yeah. Asking for the drink or whatever that... Yeah.
I don't remember. Whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I've had going on.
Yeah.
I could go on with really boring anecdotes, but those were the heavy hitters, I think.
Maybe we'll get to them.
I think that paid off. Yeah, we've got at least 2 more episodes, so in this, season preview. So, is there anything else?
I don't think I had anything. There's nothing in my notes here. Yeah, we should start talking about these motherfucking shows.
Yes, we definitely should.
As he just leaves.
Okay. All right. My cat does not want to come in, so I'm ready to go, bro.
Oh, do I have... Oh, God damn it. Hold on. Let me change my... Oh, don't look at my settings. Don't look at my image viewer settings. It's personal.
What is your jank? So what is your links? What is the...
What?
What are the picture upscaling options?
I think I have it to Lanxos, yeah. Whatever the best one is. Yeah, I don't want it to open a new window when I open an image. There we go. Yeah, first up, Isekai Suicide Squad, excuse me.
Yes.
I've been very excited about this one for a while, just to be like, what's this? And as you've noted here on our spreadsheet, it is exactly what it says. There is no, like...
Nope.
What's the angle they're going to take? It's like, nah, dude. It's like that movie from 2014, but like, what if instead of being deployed into whatever city they were in, New York, I guess? I don't remember.
I don't know. Gotham.
Gotham. What if instead of that, it was Isekai? And,
it is verbatim. It is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's a concept almost. It's almost a bad enough idea to be genius.
Yes. I agree. You hear Isekai Suicide Squad, and you have to at least look at it.
It's two things. It's like, okay, here's something that people are really sick of. Let's combine it with the only other thing that people are more sick of.
Yeah.
It's like what's a good example? It's like in 2009, it's like, let's combine rap rock with what do people hate in 2009? I don't know. What if 2012? Let's have Justin Bieber put out a new metal. Yeah, something like that. It's just an amazingly Japanese idea that honestly they could make work. It's Studio Wit Studio. It's only 10 episodes.
It just doesn't like have. If you think that if you smash these things together, there might be some opportunity for novelty, and there is not. There is no novelty.
I mean, there's opportunity, but did they execute on it? Did they match it? Not quite, I'm going to say. Also notable is the ending theme, which is not in the first episode, is performed by one Mori Calliope, the greatest rapper and VTuber of all time. She barely even raps at this point. She's just doing like really bad. It's Hololive's music, I love them to death. I love all those girls. The music they produce is like, it's just getting like, it's becoming like this very noisy like dance hall, like crazy. It's so overproduced and loud. I don't know if I mean, you know, the music's never been great because it's like idol music, but it's really reaching a kind of annoying level that I feel like they need to scale it back a little bit.
You know, I think if they had just leaned harder into gratuitousness, I think it could have. It just needs like somebody with an idea here. You just need like one person who's like, I'm gonna take this and push it to the logical extreme.
Yeah, because it's like immediately there's like a talking scene that goes on for too long, and like it's like Harley and the Joker talking about like what they think of the world or something, and it's like very basic them stuff. But it's like, which is weird because the show already kind of assumes you know these characters because it doesn't introduce them, you know. But then there's like a 5-minute long just driving scene where they're just driving around doing nothing and just talking about this world is so, I don't even remember what they say because it's so like,
I think they're kind of pulling
Happy
D,
ideas. Oh my gosh, that was a body double that killed you on that roof. You made it. Give me the lockdown on the lowdown. Sorry.
Oh God! Oh no! No more lockdowns.
No more lockdowns. We're letting Happy D's coming out of his cage. Give me the lowdown on the shows you've covered. We just started because we were talking about the things we've been getting up to for the past few weeks. So you're just in time. This is the first show of the season. Isekai Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Yeah. So really, you need to do. I think there's two directions you could go with this, which is so gratuitous that. It's
yeah, you could go
it's hilarious.
like Cyberpunk Edge Runners levels of violence,
right,
and swearing,
or you could go art house, and it is like
you could go
almost
you
no
could,
narrative.
You could go Joaquin Joker where he's just dancing and but then he's just like in fantasy world, but he's just stabbing midgets and like you know dancing around and singing.
They're not crazy enough. Like you
they're not
the
crazy. Yeah, they genuinely are
maniacal.
not crazy. They made Harley very cute, which I appreciate because she should at least be hot, you know.
Right.
But yeah, like she's just like a little like wonky, like you know. I mean, she's like kidnapping people or whatever, but it's not nearly enough.
They should be almost a complete other world already in their heads. Like, they should be viewing the world through their twisted, fucked up lens.
Yeah, I mean, this opening of this episode should have been like watching. Have you seen that clip of that British guy who is like on a psychotic break on meth and he's driving his car like 100 miles an hour through a neighborhood and he's screaming, "I am Jesus! I am Jesus Christ!" Like, it should be like that.
Right. That's one angle. Or
yeah.
You could do, again, like we said, really extremely brutal hyperviolence. I want to see like hundreds of goblins getting killed at a time. I want to see like thousands of people dying.
I mean, maybe like that's, you know, your eyes might kind of glaze over if it's just like that. You know, like I think going to Isekai and bringing like some really personal violence, like just going into like a cabin, like a beautiful like hut,
right.
You know, something like. I mean, you know, I don't want it to be too snuff filmy, but just like you'd have to flip the formula on its head somehow. Even though Isekai, like the formula's already been flipped too many times, so like you have to just go outside the box somehow. Happy says the ED is kind of fun. Look, my feelings on Mori Calliope are well known. I've already spoken on this. But yeah, I do like that the fat black lady is doing silly dances the whole time.
If you inject, because Isekai, like there's a certain like standard of violence that exists in those.
There's a continuum.
The shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go like there's like Goblin Slayer and there's weirdly gory, Isekai. I don't even know what you do. Like, I mean,
you get Kawaii Kenji to do the soundtrack, and then you have like 5-minute stretches with no dialogue. You know, like just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could start it out. You could start out the episode with like you introduce the Isekai first, and it's like this very honor-driven society between orcs and knights, and it's like chivalrous, and then like these fucking people come in and it's just like, it's just like pure nihilistic chaos.
World, and then they go into this other world that, like you said, is like very chivalrous and like caste driven almost.
There
and
is a snuff scene in the cabin, as you said. Damn. Okay. Called it.
So, you know what I was kind of surprised by?
What's that?
I can't believe it didn't look good.
It doesn't look that bad. I mean, as far as wit shows go, like it's probably slightly lower, but I mean, compared to the average isekai, it's,
just jam it with money. Like, you think this would be one where it's like, it's Suicide Squad. We could give this like that extra little boost, that Western boost, Yeah,
man. And it's only 10 episodes, like I said, so you can cram some more in there.
Especially when you get to the other world, it's just like visual vomit at that point,
it looks
things I did like. I have a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the Joker's car that he drove with the piano. I think that is an insane, stupid idea, which I like. And I liked the personification of Amanda Waller, because I just like Amanda Waller as a character.
Which one is that?
That is the big black lady.
Oh,
I like Amanda Waller as a character. I like her in basically every iteration. I just like, I think that's a fun idea for a character who is willing to use the worst criminals to...
Yeah, she's just like, fuck it.
Right. I like her. I'm a sucker for that character in basically anything. But yeah, I don't want to say disappointing because I had no expectations.
Yeah,
it's the most milk toast option of the.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be in some way like it's so middle of the road for whatever for what this could have been, in every way. Who was this ninja lady? I don't know what was going on with her. Harley did. Oh, by the way, it's being simuldubbed, so I was flipping a little bit between the Japanese and the English. The English is, it's serviceable for what this is. Harley, no New York accent. What the fuck are they doing? And they had
couldn't just get Tara Strong.
I know. Did you notice that they had like a ripoff of the Wonder Woman music at one point?
Yeah,
that was a little weird. Like, could they not just get the actual? Well, maybe it was the actual. I don't even know. It was pretty close. There's the guy who is Will Smith. There's another guy who's voiced by Jun Fukuyama. There's a giant shark guy. This episode felt very long, even though it wasn't. It was normal length. It's going to be sad if the jokist is the Mao-sama. I don't know what you mean by this. You might be farther in this show than I am. I don't know anything about DC. Is there a jokist that's like a slightly Joker adjacent character? Like,
no, he's talking about the Joker.
Because there's like there's like there's like another Superman. It's like Red Sun Superman or Yellow Sun Superman, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like the jokist could be like the Joker, but like he's I don't know.
Joker.
Some other kind of Joker. Yeah, slightly different Joker.
I was not moved. I was not moved by
the jokist is the Joker, but like he has a PhD. Yeah, this is I don't know what I expected. It's that I don't know what I expected.
We did this to ourselves.
Yeah. We all did. It's just like the Joker. It's society created this. It's really sins
Literally
are
correct.
our sins.
Factually accurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, these the orc designs are quite detailed, though. They really did draw this.
This is one of the few things I also liked, because
nasty.
This shot I thought was hilarious. Because it really does remind me of like old school anime where you've got like this is the big bad orc leader and he's sitting in the back and he's not like engaged in the fighting at all. And
you just know that these guys are doing some raping, but you can't show it in this show. But these are character designs that were meant to do some non-consensual stuff. The orchist. Yeah. That's damn it. I was gonna make a pianist joke. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Doesn't matter. Next show.
We're not that cerebral. We already fucking come on.
Yeah.
We watched 8 episodes of anime for this, man.
Oh, this is great. Boku no Tsuma wa Kanjou Ganai. Wait, what is this even from? Is this from this show? Who are these CG Arabic men?
Is this from the ED or something? What the fuck is
Ishura.
this?
What is Ishura? Are these not in order? What is this? Sort by
Ishura?
date
I never
modified.
watched no Ishura.
Okay, I think I got it now.
When did we watch Ishura?
That must be some seasonal thing from years ago. Who even knows? It was just out of order.
Anime January 3rd, 2024. So yeah, earlier.
Oh, it
this
was
year.
last season. Okay.
All right.
My wife has no emotion. Hey, finally the perfect woman. Oh, hey. It's like off though. It's not like she doesn't talk. She's just like, no, she has no emotions. She does not like me. She doesn't care about anything. She is an object.
She's a fucking nihilist, dude.
Yeah, my wife's a nihilist would be a funnier show. This is a manga, Tezuka Studio. It's a robot lady show. It's sort of the opposite of Plastic Memories, which is another robot wife show, where the lady's a robot, but she has lots of emotions. Right. And then she dies at the end. That's not a spoiler, because that's the whole premise. And this one's a robot lady, but the only thing notable about this is that they really are true to she is much more robotic than I would have expected hearing the premise of this show.
No, her mouth doesn't even move. It's like, what the fuck?
There's like a speaker. Yeah, it's like a shitty product. Like her face has skin, but none of the rest of her does. Like they couldn't even like put skin on her neck and legs. Her mouth doesn't move. They couldn't figure that part out. This is like this is an early model. This is like well,
he says that. He says literally, yeah, it's like this is a secondhand piece of shit that he bought.
Yeah, he buys her used. Ew. What the fuck, dude? Gross. Why even add that line in there? That's so nasty. Come on. I don't even buy secondhand figures. I don't buy anime figurines if they've been opened, the box. This guy bought a wife and another dude just had her for a while. That's insane.
Check this out.
What?
This is one of the saddest shows I have ever seen in my life. He is pathetic.
Well, but like it actually, normally it's like, my wife's a robot, but then it's just like she's a lady, so it totally like defeats the purpose, But it's like, oh no, in this show, like it really does come across like this is weird and it's uncomfortable, and it really does convey that in an effective way, like. Is tension. I think so, maybe, but it is also trying to be sort of a comedy, which is where it fails. Like it's not really enough. But yeah, they really resisted the urge to give her because you have to give her the slightest hint that like there's something in there. And, she does like some tiny thing that gives you the inkling that like maybe, it's not entirely robot, but it's really going for the long haul on this.
Insane.
But yeah,
he's being driven insane by this robot because like,
this is going to happen to me. So I'm just looking forward. I'm just happy that I get to see like from a third person perspective, what this is going to look like. Never buy your wife used. That's what I'm saying.
He is losing his mind over this.
Well, I mean, he's a salaryman. He gets home at 9 p.m. He drinks 4 beers, and then he's like, God, I want to fuck this robot. Like, I get it. I understand it completely.
Just do it. Just ask the robot if you can do it.
But that's the thing is like how, like, I understand he's already pathetic, but like imagine how pathetic you would have to be, like try to hit on and seduce a robot and fuck it. It's not, he's not fighting against like does she like me or doesn't she? I think he's just like, God, this is so weird, like I can't do this. Like, this is pathetic. I think he's hitting the same wall, that we are watching. He's like, I can't, what the fuck am I doing? But then he just keeps drinking beers and she keeps making him food and he's like, She doesn't even have a pussy. I think they explicitly say that.
You're telling me that's not the first thing you Google? You know, like when you're thinking about buying this model secondhand.
Yeah, he Googles the model name like ERC4512. Does it got pussy? Do it, Jork. I mean, but this is the future. So like Google, you can't even find information about pussy on Google. Like it doesn't. It filters all.
Well, you gotta go Bing.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah.
But yeah, this is a tough watch. It's also very boring, which doesn't help. But yeah, like
it's also just not good. But yeah, it's a different angle on Robot Wife that I haven't seen before at this.
Yeah, it's an angle where it's like, what if having a robot wife kind of sucked? You know, it's like,
what if you were ashamed of yourself having a robot wife, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess I would be. Because I would be constantly hitting on her and trying to fuck her, but not doing it because I would understand what it is that I'm doing. And so it's the most realistic robot wife show maybe ever.
Yeah, it's you know, we've talked about like shows that people who live underneath their desks at work watch, which is like the what if you had a girlfriend show. You know, like what if you had a girlfriend, you know, and this is like the grounded version of that, where it's like, what if you had a robot girlfriend, but instead of being like, oh, she's cutesy and she goes through these sort of like behavioral routines that make her seem very human, she's just like a dumb robot. Like he at one point he says like this is a kind of intelligent rice cooker, basically.
Oh yeah, I mean she's straight up dumb as fuck. Like it's not even Chat GPT level. I don't know when this manga was written, but yeah, I was thinking about this like this show, like it's not this isn't there, but it's like imagine like a movie or something, or just imagine getting a robot wife and it's like some further iteration of ChatGPT, but you could just tell how like every like AI output, no matter how like smart or clever it is, it always has this like extremely like sterile like corporate safe speak to it, like at all times. So like imagine trying to like this thing that's like totally human, but like you try to like make a joke with it, or like you try to do anything like like social or silly with it, and you just keep getting these like responses that are like so so like HR like written, and you'd be just every time you'd be like, God damn it, like you can just get all this trivia, but you just I don't know, that would be a very depressing thing.
That was kind of like growing up with a sister with autism, pretty much.
Damn. Yeah, except you weren't trying to fuck your sister.
That's correct.
Yeah.
This is off-putting and weird.
You've been seeing threads for this manga for years. Every time I read the title, my heart sinks a little. It's too pathetic.
I'm gonna go refresh my boxed wine real quick before we get to the next show.
Yeah, just like what's a normal situation to get into with your wife? You're like I don't know, you're like cooking. You're like I don't know anything about relationships. Hold on. Let me enter the mind space. Let me gin up a quick wife scenario. All right. You're cooking.
Okay.
You're cutting an onion and you cut yourself and you're like, no, that wouldn't work. I don't know.
I accidentally smacked a lady's ass recently. I was shooting a wedding, and this is a woman who I've worked with like probably about a couple dozen times over the last few years. And I turned around and just accidentally like full 5-star right on her ass.
like backhand or like?
No, forehand.
Wait, how do you turn around and do something with your forehand?
I was reaching up to grab something, and I whipped around and like smacked her on the ass, and I was like, oh my God, no, I'm so sorry. And she immediately knew like that it was like, yeah, like she could see what happened and understood, and because she knows I'm not like a sex pervert. Well, not that kind of sex pervert, but. But the real shame was obviously I did not want to unintentionally smack this woman's ass, this mother of
3.
Okay. That's what we're dealing with. Okay, yeah.
But she had a fucking fat ass. I was like, oh my god.
Did you not know until that point?
Well, she's 6 foot tall and like she wears pretty modest clothes. And then I just unintentionally smacked this girl's ass. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, you just like it just jiggles for 8 seconds. You're like, wait, what? What the fuck?
I could feel the jiggling on my hand when I pulled my hand away. I was like, whoa. I would like to reiterate, I was mortified because obviously you don't want to accidentally smack people's asses. But
yeah, you gotta really like sell it to like because. No matter how truly accidental it was, I feel like it's hard to get a lady to believe that you accidentally like full hand palm smacked her ass. You know?
We have known each other long enough to where she understood. Where she gets it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like somebody I'd never known, I would have just killed myself on the spot.
That's rough.
I would have like fallen out of my own arm and broken my own neck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this stupid robot bitch pours out my man's beer.
I know. I was like, what did you do to his beer? That's the most womanish thing she does in the whole episode.
The least you could do is jork him off afterwards. But
yeah.
Okay, next show.
Yes. Okay.
Can I do this? Can I do the name?
Oh, please. Be my guest.
The next show we are going to talk about is Shinmai Ossan Bouken-sha Saikyou Party ni Shinu Hodo Kitaerarete Muteki
so close.
Kitaerarete Muteki ni Naru.
Kitaerarete.
Kitaerarete.
I believe. The Ossan newbie adventurer, trained to death by the most powerful party, became invincible. They translated all of that, but they didn't translate Ossan. Which, is that not like old guy? Maybe it's a different Ossan. The robot won't even jork his Gorkin. This is a light novel. Yumeta Company. This is the good stuff. Oh yeah, look at these two guys. Look at this he looks like he hasn't slept in 24 hours. Holy fuck. Yeah, the character design is really something on this one. Oh god, the opening. I'm remembering all this now. The literal I looked it up. Oh, literally a 75-year-old man singing the opening. I could not believe this. Why are you all quiet all of a sudden? Get close to your mic again. Come back.
Hello.
Oh, that's too loud. Talk normal. Nope, that's all fucked up. Okay, that sounds. That seems fine.
Okay, yo, this opening fucking rocks, dude. This is so sick.
It's like the Daime Dollar opening or something.
Yes.
It's hold on. Can I find it? Opening. Why would anyone upload this? Oh, someone did. It's like not even real music.
Yeah, something that plays in a comedy anime while they're like
this is a fake. This is a montage. Like we're doing some. It's like if this was like, was this even a comedy? I don't even remember.
This is a Nichijou bit.
If this was
this isn't a show.
Yeah, it's like we're pretending to. We found a stick and we're pretending to be on an adventure. And now we have a montage of us walking through town. It's like if the visuals in this opening or the show were like really silly and it were obviously like a really wonky comedy, then this would be fantastic. But like this is just like a really terrible show, and then this shit starts, and you're like, what? Why did they do this? This is crazy.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, it disarmed me. It disarmed me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, whoa, what's going on
When
here?
you have an OP this off the wall, like this sort of like unexpected.
The only thing stylized about the whole show.
Yeah, it gave me that little bit of leeway where I'm like, I settled into my couch a little bit. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be
Gave
fucking
you some
stupid.
false hope, yeah.
Right. And it is stupid. It's just a little bit boring, stupid.
It's like a magical school, except the guy's name is Rick Senpai, which is funny. That's the only other funny thing. And then I love the hot brown boobs elf. That's great, I guess.
What the fuck am I? This is like an isekai protect. Okay, hold on.
It's not really an isekai. I mean, it's just fantasy.
No, I'm not isekai. I meant to say like shonen protagonist backstory of like guy gets trained up super good, and the premise is basically
he's going into magic school, even though he's like a 30-year-old man. He's going to magic school, and they're doing the Harry Potter hat, except it's where they test your magic score. It's a ball, a crystal ball that gauges
classic trope,
your magic score, and it's like, oh, my magic is 0, and then he leaves and it cracks, and everyone's like, whoa. Right. I feel like we've seen that exact scene at least 3 times in the past few years.
It's an underflow error. He's actually so powerful that he rolled back over.
Oh, your magic is negative 8 billion.
Yeah, right. So
yeah.
But he doesn't have any self-esteem.
Like, he doesn't know that he's better than everyone else.
and the thing that I thought was a little bit humorous about this show was that he keeps finding ways to justify to himself like how shit he is. Like his self-worth is so low that he just keeps finding reasons for why he's so awesome that aren't him being awesome. Which I think is a decent premise in a way better show than this. Like if you were to like really lean into that, and it like almost like gag comedy, almost even like 4-Koma or something, where it's just like constantly doing gags about how he's aloof and doesn't understand that he's fucking sick as fuck. But instead, it's really drawn out, and you get like one of those gags every 10 minutes, basically.
Yeah. This guy did the Kinnikuman opening. Started watching it today, like the one from like the 80s, like the early 80s, or like the newer one from this one probably this the one from this season, in fact. Kinnikuman Perfect Origin Arc. This guy's still getting a lot of work despite being an old ass man. Maybe he did both. Maybe they brought him back. He did the 83 one and then 80s. Oh, okay. Neato. Yeah, this is not very good. This show.
No. Nope.
A 1.5 times this one.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
I watched every single episode this season so far at full time, at regular 1.0 speed. I know it took a lot. I almost wish we had watched the first episode of the second season of Oshi no Ko. Why do they have swords now? What the fuck?
Do they have swords?
Why do they have... I'm looking at the promo art and they have swords now. How can they have swords?
The first season of Oshi no Ko nearly drove us mad. Yeah, I did not have us watching the second season. Who knows what
we never watched the entirety of the first season of Oshi no Ko, right? Is that 26?
What?
We just watched the first episode. We watched the first episode of Oshi no Ko, right?
Are you fucking losing it? Dude, are you crazy? You can't remember if we watched 12 episodes of Oshi no Ko.
Correct.
You can't even remember how much you can't remember if you watched 1 or 12 or 13 episodes.
No, I blacked out.
It was that damaging to your psyche.
No, I know we watched the first episode of Oshi no Ko. But like,
it was 15 episodes.
We should probably just watch the entire first season of Oshi no Ko.
I don't know, man. I just know that shit doesn't go anywhere.
Think about what happens in the first episode of Oshi no Ko. It's so much shit. It's so jammed with like garbage ideas.
Well, yeah, but imagine approaching like Attack on Titan like that. Like, the first few episodes have so much going on. I bet it'll keep up this pace and be really good.
No. I'm not saying like, it's gonna keep up the pace. I'm saying that's why I had to think about whether or not we watched all of it.
You really felt like you entered a time warp.
Well, that was a full-on mind break. That was a Koto style, like, I detached from reality for a bit while watching that shit. We should probably watch the first episode for the first season, though. We should probably do that. But anyway,
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I could do it.
We should make Steven watch it and tell him nothing about it, and then see how Steven reacts to this, and see if he's somehow able to enjoy it.
He might just love it. What if he just loves?
Yeah.
It could go anyway. Yeah, he's a wild card.
I feel like Steven would. I guarantee you 100%. Steven would recognize that it's insane. I think he would. He wants so much like logical through line in his shit. I just don't think that he
maybe,
like.
Yeah.
Because like that's manic. The first episode of the show is manic.
Yeah, it's garbage nonsense. Anyways,
speaking of
fuck
manic
that shit.
garbage nonsense, here
Let's
we go. All your loop is for. Yep, very good.
It's the Deer Show. It's the Deer Show. Everyone likes. Well, I don't know if they like it, but they like that. They like that part at least. I didn't even know that's where that song came from for like a month. I was hearing it. It was like a meme, and then I was like, oh, it's this show. You still here?
I'm here. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I was reading through this Yankees Red Sox thread here.
Oh my god. Still in drama.
Well, if you're looping it, I have to.
I had to get more hard Mountain Dew.
So you have to pronounce it now.
Shikanoko Nokonoko Koshitantan is the name of this show. My dear friend,
very funny. Yep.
Nokotan. Yes, manga wit again. Wowzers. Holy moly. The opening's great. Even the part after, that first part there. And yes, it's about a girl. She's a perfect seeming like Ojo-chan girl who's very well behaved at school, but she's actually like kind of a bitch or something, or she's secretly a Yankee. She's a delinquent. And then she meets her perfect foil, a completely retarded bitch, just the biggest dumbass possible, absolutely brain dead fucktard. It's a transfer student who is also a deer. Immediately, it's I wanted to like this, but there's just the comedies a little too much bad fourth wall breaking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of stuff. It's like the cutting to like slow mo with like a silly music. Not a lot reminds me of this, but remember the attempts at comedy in Angel Beats?
No.
They would do at least once. They would do that where like they would like do a replay of something with the ending theme playing, and it was supposed to be like funny.
I see.
Like so its only problem as a comedy show is that it's not funny.
It really does.
It sure is silly.
It sucks at being funny. Which is the problem when you have a comedy show, is if it's not funny, it just starts to make you upset and annoyed.
Because you're like, be funny, God damn it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. This is my second time referencing it this episode, but it reminds me a little bit of Nichijou, where Nichijou's got that like sort of off the wall style of humor, which is really hard for Japanese people to do. It's really hard to do in general. And the Japanese are maybe the worst at doing it.
Is all they do, but it's like it's just like it's a lot of shouting. But like the thing about Nichijou is that it committed really hard to the bits, and this does not commit nearly hard enough. It'll transition really harshly into a joke, like really roughly, and then it doesn't commit to it,
the 4 koma style of Nichijou really helping it there, where it doesn't have to like resolve anything. It can just present a funny idea, exploit it for everything it's got, and then move on. Whereas this has got a kind of linear narrative that really bogs it down. It's just not very funny.
Yeah. Do they say explicitly that it takes place in Nara?
Yes.
Oh, they did.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, no, this is their. Yes, 100%.
Okay, because I'm like at the end, I remember those crackers. You know, they show the ladies making the crackers.
Oh, boy, do I remember them.
I've been there.
The ED has got like a bunch of actual images of Nara and actual images of deer, and they've got like this kind of off-putting 3D rendering of deer that they jam in throughout the episode, which is very, very quirky and very, very quirky.
yeah. It's I guess her being a deer is just because she's dumb. I don't know. They don't really explain that part. That's fine though. It's just deer themed. It's a deer themed dumb comedy. Not as good as I was hoping because of the jokes.
Is this Nara propaganda?
This might have a little funding. Yeah, maybe it's like, hey, I don't know if Nara needs that much, advertising.
Well, maybe they just have so much money to go around. They're like, fuck it.
Yeah, we got all this cracker money.
They literally did when we were there. Hey, all right. We went for 2 different angles on the same joke. One of us needs like some serious head trauma, I think. Like one of us needs to knock.
One of us needs to get flipped turned upside down. Hard.
Yeah. One of us needs some head trauma so we don't have the same brain.
If we can't get Steven, we should just give one of ourselves a lobotomy.
Yeah, I think I at one point had pitched that every episode one of us is on a different substance. Like
the same. Alcohol.
Right, rather than both of us just drinking alcohol, one of us could be on like ketamine or something. So not very funny, not particularly good looking, unremarkable.
Yeah, bit of a bummer for me.
I was bummed too because I like the character designs and I like the girl with the antlers, and I do love those crackers.
Yeah, wish I had tried one myself. They're probably pretty good.
Next
is this one, Tasuuketsu.
Oh boy,
Tasuuketsu, Fate of the Majority manga satellite. What? That makes sense. What?
It's such a literal name.
Yeah.
Oh god.
When I was in Nagano, I talked with nutritionists in the prefectural government, and they were trying to encourage people eating more deer. Hope this helps. Why? Are they overpopulated or like?
Are deer pests? What a crazy idea.
I
just had some venison. I'm doing my part. I had some venison this month. It was delicious.
Good sausage, yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that, but yeah, I was supposed to get, like, you got up here. I was supposed to go camping with you guys for a few days. Got back from Nebraska, immediately had COVID again.
Yeah, I can't get it. But you really actually might have dodged a little bit of a bullet. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
I think no, it was very fun, but I was just about at my wit's end with Steven.
You're not. You have it. You're not. You might have immunity from COVID, but you don't have Steven antibodies like I do.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, like
unreal, right?
I love the guy. I mean, I love him, but and like the things that I have to complain about him are like so. Like people would die to have somebody like this in their lives. That is like, this is the biggest thing you can say about him.
They sound minor, yeah.
Right, yeah. Like they'd be like, "Oh, I would take that in a heartbeat," which is like the guy just gets too excited about the things that he likes.
He's on all cylinders at all times,
yeah.
And then when he's done, he falls the fuck asleep in 2 seconds.
Yeah. And if the problem is if he's in a group. If you get Steven one-on-one, like I think I can personally like maneuver him into conversations that are kind of interesting. But if he's in a group, he is just in Steven needs everybody to understand how cool he is mode. You know?
Yeah, he's like talking very very know-it-all-y
Well, so I had people that I liked. You know, I was there with people that I liked, like friends of mine. Like we were there. It was RJ and Tyler were there with us.
Oh,
and
up there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know she was up there.
So RJ was there, and Steven and RJ is I think I talked a little bit about this last year about like the time that he came into town with his troublesome girlfriend. Did I talk about this?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So RJ is he's a friend of ours from years ago, you know, like a younger guy that we would hang out with.
Don't say that, because I've been watching this Mr. Beast shit, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, is this, you can get in trouble for this now? Like the guy, one of the guys in Mr. Beast's video, he was just in a Discord server with a guy who was 17, and he is like getting fucking destroyed. And I'm like, oh my God. We were like in our early 20s and we were just like giving this 17-year-old weed. And just like, yeah, here you go. Do this bong rip.
Hey, I mean, at least at the very minimum, RJ's cool. So he doesn't care.
Yeah, he was chill, so it's okay.
Yes, literally. Literally, that's the case. Yeah. So RJ and Steven, for, I would say,
that's your outnumbered.
The time that we were for the time, again, two people I like a lot. For the time that we were there, they must have spent 3/4 of their waking hours just going back and forth of, have you heard of this artist? Have you listened to any music from this genre?
My fucking God.
And it was just like I didn't even really get the chance to talk to Tyler about it. We're like, Tyler, do you realize that we were just in the presence of insane people for 2 straight days? Because it was literally just like seeing how far they could go with obscurity, and like what did they have downloaded onto their phones to listen to? And RJ brought this gigantic speaker, so it was like we were like, we were by the fire. And it was them going back and forth to play as obscure of music as they could possibly play. And it is really funny in retrospect. But that place is very placid. And it's very, it's a place that if you allow yourself to, you can kind of detach from everything. Mm-hmm. And just having people, like, blasting the worst music you've ever heard as loud as they could.
Yeah, God, man. Like, I am so, like... I am so like courteous and cautious with like the dude. You gotta listen to this song I like. Like I'll do it like once in a great while, but like Jesus fucking Christ, like have some common decency. We were hanging out later that week, and it's like this has happened so many times before. We were trying to watch something, and Steven is just hitting you with like, "Have you seen this movie? Have you seen this movie?" Like while we're watching this other movie, and I'm like, dude. Like, stop asking people.
We are in the process of watching Scanners,
and he's like, dude, I haven't seen him in a while. I want to talk to him. And it's like, okay, first of all, you're not talking to him. You're just asking him, have you seen this movie? Have you seen this movie? And it's the same movies as you always ask him if he's seen. Like, he's just asking you about the same movies as last time we hang out. It's just non-fucking stop. It's crazy. So yeah, that's,
I think if we were to look back and like review the way that we treated Steven on the early podcast as an outsider, it would probably seem like we were really hard on him. But and like sometimes I'll occasionally be like, were we a little hard on Steven at that point? And I'm like, no, this is the only way you can reasonably treat him, because this is the he makes you do this. Because if you don't, he will just go forever. Yeah, really. Like, you have to keep a leash on this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. God. Anyway, talking shit after talking about my one of my best friends, talking shit about one of my best friends for 30 minutes here.
I know.
The fate of the majority.
Yes, it's about a school guy. They should have called this show "Adventures of School Guy." He does not. He's got a little bit of blue hair there. He doesn't know computers, and he wakes up one day and a bunch of people are dead. Holy shit!
They're fucking dead.
One, And he goes back to school. He meets up a bunch of people who are not dead. And did you notice even one of these girls even looks like the pink-haired chick from High School of the Dead? I wonder if it is intentional. See that one there? The pink one?
It's loading it. Oh, yep, there she is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's just like her. So it's a death game. It's another death game show. One guy's got a gun. Who had a gun? I can't remember who had a gun. But
maybe like an older classmate or something.
Someone else. I'm just like, ooh, someone's got a gun. But the game here is that on certain computers, occasionally, there will be a question. It'll be a yes or no question, and people who fall into the yes side of the question will die at midnight.
This is the.
Is this like
shittiest?
Is this like Squid Game, where like is this a game that like is this like a party game in Japan? It probably is, right? Where like you try to eliminate people based on like a yes or no.
So.
It's probably something like that. Yeah,
this is the shittiest setup of any of these I've ever seen. Where it's like everybody is dead. It's like because a lot of it's like if you look at like 999, you know, if you look at like that kind of premise, it's like okay, they're locked in a warehouse. You know, they're in a mansion. You know, it's like, but it's like everybody in the world is dead. That's fucking stupid. You know, it's like that's just a dumb.
Well, everyone in Japan, I think, at least.
Right. That's dumb. That's a dumb.
Yeah. Well, if it's like a if it's like God, you know, it's like Mirai Nikki, maybe. Yeah. It's sort of like what time period was this? Like late 2000s, where like game shows like started dumbing themselves down to the point where like. There was like one show, like it wasn't even trivia. It was just like it was such a simple fucking game show that like there was nothing to it. It was just like pick one and one wins and one loses and like that was it. You know, it was like that. I remember because speaking of Boston, I was on a duck boat in Boston and the guy driving the duck boat was like, "Yeah, I was on a game show," and then like a year later, we get home. One night, and I'm like, oh, this show's on. I wonder if there are guys on it. He was, and I watched him play. But Deal or No Deal even had more going on. Like, that has strategy. That has things to it. Like, there was a show, and I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but it was just like, pick one. You have no information. Just pick one, and one of them gets you win, and you just keep going or you stop. Like, that was it.
I think the name was, like, yes or no or something.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah.
And this is just that.
Right.
So yeah, but I mean, I guess the interesting part is that like the contestants pick the question, so you pick who dies, you know, whatever. And also, you know, what interested me is at the very end here, like the question, the last question in this episode is male or female. So, and then you're like, oh well, obviously, the opening theme is all dudes. You know, the main character's a dude. So like all these fucking clunge havers are about to eat it. No, all the dudes die. It's only ladies left. And I was immediately, I mean, like, I don't even believe it, honestly. Like, I don't know if they actually went there. Because then they play the ED. The ED's also all dudes. So, I don't know what actually happened there. This guy points a gun at a kid. You know, for how bad this premise is and how, like, you know, how simple and kind of by the numbers it all is, I found it a little interesting. I was at least interested in what happens because I was like, wait, what happened? You know?
This for you.
Oh, say that again?
I'm going to say that this for you is what the Ossan newbie show was for me. Where you're finding these little glimmers in this thing to grab onto because your brain wants something. Your brain can't accept that you've watched.
I mean, at the very least, like, this is one of the few shows where at the end I was like, I wonder what they do next, you know? And I'm sure on the next episode I'll be like, oh. But at least at the first episode I'm like, what was that? You know?
I get it. I was already like turned off by the dumbass setting and the sort of
the
like
setting is Japan, please.
There's no I said what I said.
Please be nice.
There's like no mechanics to the game. Like there's no.
I think they're gonna explain it. Like there's gonna be more, but yeah, at the onset, it's yes or no.
Yeah, rough, buddy.
Yeah. And again, it's probably like a group game that Japanese people would be familiar with. So it's like it's like evil tic-tac-toe. Whoa. They should make a show like this, but it's like Cards Against Humanity. It's like Jackbox or something, where like everybody has to draw the funniest T-shirt or else they die.
You have to draw the biggest cock you can on the screen.
Yeah, everyone has to make the funniest face and have the funniest phrase underneath the face, or else you die. Everyone has to impress Cookie Masterson the most. This was Death Game show. There you go.
Not for me, thank you. Never really been into the premise anyway, but
Nope. Next show, maybe the most hyped one of the whole season. They were hyping this show up for like a year for some. I kept seeing like news and screenshots and previews and trailers for this, and it just kept being like, I don't think it got even pushed back. They just like were hyping it so far ahead of when it was coming out. Tokidoki Bosotto Russiago de
I could go for a fucking bowl of Bosotto Russiago right now.
Yeah, it sounds delicious. Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Light novel. Doga Kobo's here. They're back. I was like, I saw the first trailer or previews or whatever. I was like, this is like a romance show. And then lately I've been seeing stuff. I'm like, I think this is just like a foot show, because they really were like, they were like pushing this foot scene real hard. Feet are big right now because of the.
All right.
I think it's because of. I mean, I might be biased because I think it's because of VTubers. Because I think like you make foot jokes on YouTube, they're out of like, you can only do sex innuendo. You can't joke about anything else. So there's a lot of feet jokes. So I think the feet thing, it's sort of like porn sites pushing incest. I think the anime scene is pushing a lot of feet stuff. That's what's going on. But they're difficult to draw. So,
all I'm hearing is that my foot friends are eating. That's all I'm hearing right now.
They're licking. They're eating. They're sucking. They're doing everything to them.
This is me. I'm going to talk about a podcast that I listen to on this podcast.
Oh no, we're at that point. We're drinking that much boxed wine, are we?
But one of the guys who I listened to realized recently that he was on the foot fetish website. Like he became aware.
Oh yeah, everyone's on that shit. Literally everyone, if you're on camera ever, is on WikiFeet. They're like obsessed. They're like good. They're good at it. They are good at it.
And he became like, this is a guy who should not be aware of the fact that he's on WikiFeet. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Do I use this to make money? Should I try to sell pictures of, he's like 50, so he doesn't know, like, and he's like, I've got the ugliest fucking caveman feet in the world, and they still want to talk about my feet. And he's like, apparently these feet are very highly rated. So
I think all the feet on WikiFeet are very highly rated. I don't think
no one puts bad feet up there.
No.
Let's see. I'm gonna go incognito for this one, but anyway,
maybe like maybe like conservative politicians. I mean, people rate their feet lowly, like, it's actually the worst feet ever. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me see if those feet are actually that shit, though. Because those feet, I don't know. Maybe JD Vance has got some stompers.
I don't want to see JD Vance's feet, please.
I want to see Mima's feet.
Mima? Sheena?
Mima's it's his grandma in the book that he wrote.
Oh my God.
Oh. Okay, no JD Vance, huh?
White people be calling their grandparents pee pee and poo poo.
Okay, anyway.
Anyways, this show, a girl who speaks Russian. And you might be wondering, as I was, does this voice actress then, Uesaka Sumire, does she speak Russian? She has a Japanese name. From her wiki, Since hearing the state anthem of the USSR in her first year of high school, Uesaka became interested in Russian culture as well as the former Soviet Union. In April 2010, Uesaka enrolled in Faculty of Foreign Studies at Sofia University. She majored in the Russian language and announced that she had graduated on March 27, 2014. So yes, she does. Although honestly, as a non-Russian speaker, I don't think it sounds great.
It's a dumbass language anyway, so like, of course it's gonna sound stupid when you got a Japanese lady saying it.
I mean, it sounds like a Japanese voice actress, the way they try to do English, but it just sounds like they're doing Russian instead. Like I can tell it's fucked up.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But it's a very pretty lady. She's the prettiest in school. Everyone sparkles and gazes at her. Her name is Kujo-san. She gets hit on by a very high status guy. I bet she will accept him, but she doesn't. She shuts him down and everyone is shocked. The main guy is Kuze-kun. This is a genre that I believe you call What If a Girl Liked You. Is that correct?
Yes.
This is What If a Girl Liked You as animated by the masters at Dogakobo. It's just give her as much hair detail as possible and a dozen colors in her eyes in the close-ups, and we're good to fucking go. That's what we got.
The OP is like irresponsibly detailed.
Yeah,
like the OP is just a gross misuse of power where they like. I mean, I think it's basically nothing but close-up shots of girls' faces, right? It's like just
they know what's up. Yeah, like, this is what you want.
Yeah, there is what if I had a girlfriend and what if a girl liked you, which are like this. They're the two premises.
Is what if a girl liked you? Oh yes.
What if a girl liked you?
This is primo. This is USDA prime grade. Yes. What if a girl liked you?
A5 Wagyu.
Yes.
Like you. A5 like you. Yeah, lots of fat. Good marbling on this one. It's definitely going to render well. Nice thick cut. No sort of unsightly blemishes on the rump.
Eat it on a sandwich with the crust cut off.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really boring. This is a very beige show. The show it's
very bright. Yeah, it's modern anime.
When they went to the cafeteria. Like the cafeteria scene was one of the weirdest looking cafeterias I've ever seen in an anime because it's so beige and like it looks like a 1990s computer tower the entire way through. I
think I only have close-ups of this chick's face. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see that.
Understandable. Yes,
I'll give her an unsightly blemish. Ew, dude. Nah, me too. I get it.
Yeah, no, just
not
really anything going on here.
Give them slight cat mouths sometimes. It's very precise and deliberate with the cute faces. But yeah, it's What If a Girl Liked You. It's What If Tsundere but Russian. The slight twist is
Rundere.
Russiago. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. There's multiple. Oh yeah, she has a sister. Just two Russian girls. Oh, and also the slight sort of twist is that he can't understand what she's saying, which I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't actually know about the show.
Instantaneously in the
because
show.
Because he was like, oh, you don't even see her. He's like, oh, I used to play with some Russian girl. It's like, wait, obviously that's her, dude.
Moron.
Don't insult my fucking intelligence like this. Come on, you just happened to play with a Russian girl as a kid in fucking Japan. There's 3 Russian people in Japan. What are you doing?
Yeah, there's no. It's not even playing with your emotions. It's just making sure there's no tension. They're really just making sure that there's no drama to be had in this program. There is no thought required. Just look at the pretty detailed girls smiling with cat mouths.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to go have myself a piss before we get into the next one here.
Okay.
You keep showing off your screenies. I know you get a bunch.
I do. Yes. There's another. Yeah, the other girl he has in Osana Najimi. There is a very, very intricately animated foot and leg stuff scene. Stockings, all that stuff. So it's got you covered there. The subtitles are bad. I think people have taken note of that. Subtitles are a little too I mean, yeah, they're pretty rough with the attempts at casual language by teenagers. But the worst one that I noticed, I think, was they hint that he has like a main character has like a sister that he texts with because they have like a chummy relationship, and he's talking to his sister about how he likes girls' legs, and she says legs are lit in the subs, which made me so angry because nobody would ever fucking say that. Like that's not something that you would say is lit, even if you were going to use the word lit. Like situations and concepts and scenarios are lit, okay? Things are not lit. You wouldn't be like, oh yeah, fucking pepperoni pizza's lit. Like, even that makes more sense. But saying legs are lit is insane. Nobody would ever fucking say anything like that. What else is going on in here? There was like 1 second where I like the main character is like slightly characterized. There was like 5 seconds where I was like thinking maybe he wasn't going to be a total pussy. But then I was, it's like, oh, he understands what she's saying and he's still doing nothing. But he's not spending the entire show going like, whoa, pussy. Only like most of it. So
he's got pussy on pussy stacked up. He's got some pussy on deck there.
He's got a Matryoshka doll of pussy. Russian things.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
The initial joke was funny. All right. Do you have anything else to say about this program?
I have more foot screenshots.
All right. Yes.
For those disgusting weirdos out there who like feet and socks and legs.
The most normal shit ever now.
Yeah. Well, the feet thing is, I don't know.
It's the legs.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's the legs. No piss. Not that I care. Not that I.
Just name a really specific thing like, there's no there's no vomiting, I guess, which is fine. I'm okay with that. There's no girls swallowing their own vomit, which is like normal, actually. I don't even know why they would have that.
There's no women who are trapped against their will and are crying.
There's no bugs crawling into any orifices, which is actually perfect. I enjoy that.
That was something that Fate had. I liked that about Fate, that they were...
Yeah.
But anyway. No, I mean, I didn't. I imagine that there people would be people who did like that.
Some people, I bet some nasty evildoers enjoyed watching beetles crawl into that kid's pussy.
There goes my presidential campaign for the 80th time. Yeah,
this is all AI, by the way. This episode's generated.
Yeah, generated on things that you've said, not necessarily things that I've said.
This is all based on my dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously this has been an ongoing bit now for a long while, but I'm still waiting for something that crosses the piss threshold, just because I want to see where it goes. Prison School was the last show that I saw that went to the piss zone. That's about almost 10 years ago now.
Do you like? Do you like a girl? Like you want holding piss like for a long time and like struggling to hold it in, or like?
Well, first of all, I don't want any of this.
I'm just saying hypothetically, it's like some evil like doppelganger of you who really likes piss, like you want her to be in pain.
Ethan. This is the Wario version of me.
There's a VTuber who will occasionally record audio of herself pissing, and she pisses really hard. She does like Kegels or something, and like really strengthens up her pelvic floor. Yeah. So I could link you to her.
Please do. I want to admire the artistry.
Okay.
I'm really here to see craftsmen at work. And I think that's
much like you. She insists she doesn't like piss or anything to do with it. She just likes the feeling of holding it for a long time and then going, because she feels that it's more satisfying that way.
Well, the thing is for me, I get off on women being relieved. So
you just want them to be happy. You're a feminist. You're a male feminist.
Well, I love pissing. Don't you like pissing?
Play the VTuber piss sounds on stream. Okay, I don't know. I mean, she can't complain. I don't know if she deleted them or not, but yeah, I'll play Chroma's piss. Not that I've saved it or anything. I'll have to search it real quick.
Hold on, let me just do a quick Google search. Tappity, 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 tappity.
Yeah, let me just look for this. Oh boy, how would I even find it? Here it is.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, Chromopist 1, some weirdo has linked here. This is the first one.
That's a fake sound effect.
You think so? She thinks she's just frying chicken?
She must have had that like jammed in that thing.
Yeah, I don't know how she really captures these.
That's a very binaural sound. Jesus Christ!
She's hitting the rib. You're not even hitting the water. Come on, girl. What are you doing?
She got big labia. She got big
You
ass
think it's
fat She got big fat ass fucking labia there.
3, I think, is stronger.
Are you sending hearts in the chat right now, FTG?
They're loving it. That's a long one. Holy shit.
She's at a bar or something. What's it?
Oh yeah, fuck, you're right.
Ooh.
Long tail on that. And then the final one is like, she's like fucking straining on this one. This one's crazy.
You're grunting and groaning. Oh God! Damn! You sure she's not a urinal? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, she's just squatting at the urinal.
Yeah, she's definitely some women have developed the technique to where they can pee without sitting down, like shooting into a urinal, and I think she's one of them.
Jesus Christ, that's disgusting.
Why wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? I don't want to sit down in a public toilet.
Well, no, I'm not. Yeah, obviously, I'm not. These virtual toilets.
Well,
they really, they are crazy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking for. Not me.
That's what doppelganger. Yeah, that's what evil piss Ethan likes.
No, I have my brethren out there who are sex perverts like myself, and they are in pursuit of something, and I don't want to see them denied. I want to see. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I know what it's like to go years and years and years without gratification, and I just want my Buffalo Bills fan equivalent in piss fetishists to get their day in the sun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like I've got everything I need out of my Russian girlfriend. What if I had a Russian girlfriend show? You got anything left?
No, I think I'm
anything left in the tank?
I did not expect
drained
3 hard Mountain Dews to cause me to do probably at least 3 things I will regret later on this episode. But hey, we were back. We returned. You know, you got to make it exciting.
It's pretty tame. I mean, like really, you're gonna fucking come after us for playing piss on the stream? Like, that's pretty tame.
Chromo did not consent to having you play her piss that she uploaded on Twitter. Next show is.
I'm just a scientist. I just need to, this is new data. Research. I'm interpreting this data. Okay.
You cut us some slack, man. Gimai Seikatsu, Days with My Stepsister. I was so naive. I typed, "Oh yeah." That is the absolute. I could not have gone in with the wrong mindset.
That is the most premature OG I've ever heard.
That is like going into like what's like a movie like I don't know, going into like Naked Lunch, being like, "Fuck yeah,
right,
dude, naked
pussy."
Yeah, it's
they're gonna eat some sandwiches with their pussies. No,
little children. I know what's up, buddy.
you fucked us because you actively, like, karmically in the universe made this show worse.
I made this happen by wanting, by wanting the thing that I want, and
That's why I'm selfless. That's why I always want things for other people.
Yes,
why do you have to? You carnally want this to be about you.
I have met my stepsister less than 10 times. I want to reiterate. Barely interacted, okay? Just throwing that out there. Not that it's come up, but just in case I say something. Have not spoken or interacted very much. But this is a mixed. This is a mixed media project. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think this is a gacha game. But it's being animated by Dean.
There's a sleep aid tie-in that goes along with this, so you can really
there's a bottle
just get
of
the full
melatonin
experience. Yeah.
with this girl on the front. I'm watching this. I'm like, didn't we watch what was the show? What was like the '90s show we watched where they got, their parents got married? Was that called? Fuck. What the fuck was that? It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. But it's like we're step siblings now, right? Parents get married. Very simple concept. It's been done before. Then the opening plays and it's like very artsy, and you're like, that's weird. And then things are happening, and it struck me as being particularly melodramatic.
Oh my god, dude! It's
was it Peach Girl? I feel like it wasn't Peach Girl, but there was like no, I don't know if it was.
This is the mopiest fucking sad sack TV show I've ever watched in my entire life, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
It completely blindsided me. The tone of this is insane. I thought someone was gonna die. Like, it's so fucking melodramatic. It's so forlorn and sad seeming. It's you're like, why is everyone so fucking bummed out in this show all the time? It's like nothing's even happened yet.
No, the only people who are bummed out are these stupid kids. I know that having your parent remarry and then getting a sibling out of nowhere is probably a huge life change. That probably affects you a lot. At the same time, I guarantee you there's never been a set of siblings who have been this dramatically affected by the change in their lives. These are the worst pieces of shit I have ever seen. Just chill the fuck out. How is it this big of a deal for you to be like, how are we supposed to interact? It's like a fucking bad Terrence Malick movies.
It was Marmalade Boy. not Peach Girl, Marmalade Boy.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, sorry, that was bothering me.
It's like the worst Terrence Malick movies where it's like just people who have no social skills trying to talk to each other and talking about how it's like
they have too much social skills. They meet and they're teenagers, so if this had a semblance of realism, they would not speak at all to each other. And then you would build things from there. But instead, immediately upon meeting, they're having conversations that are way too personal for teenagers to have about their personalities and like how they can't connect with. She's like, I toss people aside when they're she's just explaining her interpersonal relations with other people, and it's like you would never say this to anyone, especially not a guy, especially not when you're a teenager. Like, this is crazy. This is such an alien view of how human beings work. It's incomprehensible.
This is like they're two people who are so self-actualized to where they can perfectly express how they feel and interact with people. And the idea of getting one of these people, let alone two of them, is baffling. It's like there's no way that if even
two
one
very
of them
old
was like
souls,
this,
it's like they've been reincarnated. It's like they're 200 years old.
They're so damaged. They're so like
what's happened to these kids?
The guy's dad is a giant goofball, and then he's this mopey sack of shit. Oh,
it's
my
kind of
fucking God.
Yeah, it's if you have a that's good in theory for like a coming of age story. If you have you have like silly parents that because you have to realize that you can't entirely rely on them anymore. So you have like goofball dad, and you have like kind of airhead mom over here. Like, she's like,
they're also in love. Like they're two people who have fallen in love after either having some sort of loss, and they're like now they're caught up in this where it's like, oh, my dad and my and my mom are now blinded by the fact that they found love again, and we're no longer the most important things in their lives, at least for a little while. So we have to, develop and grow. But in this case, like, these are they're basic. They feel like they're both dying. They talk as though they're both cancer patients.
Genuinely, it's like it has that like seriousness to it, and and there's like a montage that has like weird sad music, and like they treat it like his attitude towards this whole situation is like he's really concerned about it. Like in real life, you're a teenager, like people are moving in and you have a stepsister, you really wouldn't care at all. I mean, maybe like there'd be like a sort of loss of privacy, things would be more active in the house, but like you wouldn't give a fuck really at all. And your relationship with this your stepsister would consist of like occasionally when you got home, you would see her and you would go, hey, and you would literally never say a single other word to her ever, is exactly how that would work. And if you're going to do a show like this, you should start from that point, and then you should find some, like the key is to find some way somehow that you break out of that, which starts things going. But instead, we start...
that version of the show works. I guarantee you, if you write the show like that, it works. Because I've spoken to people who, like, their parents remarried and then they had step siblings, and it's like, I had step siblings that I gained when I was like 15 or 16, and I didn't even really get to know them until I was 24. And it's like, then you meet, and then 8 years later, after you've both left the house, you realize like, hey, we were people of the same age that went through a similar experience. We have a lot in common, but like, you're so in your own shit at that point, this is the last way that a teenager would ever deal with this experience.
It's like you're two people brought together like against your own will. It's like, you're just not gonna initiate any conversations or any relationship with them, so you're just always just going to be existing totally parallel to each other, and like you would just find some way that like somehow you break that like pattern and something happens.
Maybe there's an incident,
incident, maybe
right there's maybe an inciting incident that there's an equilibrium. And the equilibrium is that these two step siblings don't know each other at all. And then there is an inciting incident, at which point we go through some sort of, I don't know, character progression. And then we achieve a new equilibrium on the other side.
Perhaps.
Where they have a new... What if there were a narrative? Again, I think that this is a concept that is ripe for drama.
And the inciting incident is 9/11. Sure. Yeah, maybe.
Why not?
Because you normally okay. Think about every teenager is basically unimpressive, right? Like, if you're like a guy, you're not doing anything. Like, if you're trying to have an interesting character here, maybe something happens that normally there would be. This guy would be like, there'd be no response to, or wouldn't be able to deal with, but like he's somehow able to, he goes above and beyond in some way that impresses her. I don't know.
Maybe he impresses himself. Maybe in the process of impressing her, I don't know, man.
Anything.
Anything.
They just don't start talking to each other about their feelings out of nowhere, which you would never do with another person.
These people.
Yeah, you've seen this news? See what's going on with Nigel Farage? She's like, whoa, he knows that you can't barrage the Farage.
Man, my cat's way the fuck out there. Yeah, this is these are both savants. They're both like interpersonal masters where
this was written by an alien from Alpha Centauri. It's what I was thinking of, like, if you're gonna do this, if you're like, here's how you redeem this, right? You go through, you keep doing this where they have this sort of really awkward, sort of very sterile relationship. It's very businesslike, there's all this tension all the time. Nothing happens. They're very straight-laced, and mature about everything. And then the very last episode of the series, last episode of the show is, I think there's a word for this. It's like, the entire episode takes place in one room and it's a static shot. Is it called like a goldfish episode or something? Like that episode of Panty and Stocking?
A bottle episode is what we
Bottle
call that.
episode? Camera angle, yeah. Just static shot of one room the entire time. And it's just a full-length episode of nonstop fucking. She's bouncing on his dick. Like, he's getting sucked. Like,
he might even get his ass licked.
Maybe everything.
Maybe one of them pees.
Oh, yeah. Just like, just a fucking, just a smattering.
Fuck fest.
Yeah, just a
Caligula looking fucking type shit.
Yeah, I don't know sex words, but just crazy, just an explosion.
A tantric sort of erotic experience.
An explosion of boobs and butts and dicks. It's like a tidal wave of cum and pussy. Stop hitting the shocked face on the react thing. You're grossing me out. But yeah, yeah, that would be fun. I don't know.
Thinking if it was like a Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders sort of affair, where there's like the hot girl and her hot dog, and then Scooby and Shaggy want to fuck the hot girl and the hot dog, and then it turns out that they're both aliens, and then it kind of like makes a lot of sense.
That makes them. Did they stop wanting to fuck them after that?
It became a lot more difficult because they were much bigger than Scooby and Shaggy were. It just like physically wouldn't work.
Yeah.
This sucks.
The tone of this is crazy. I liked, and also it's like, okay, they have an awkward relationship, because they're too like weird and mature, and then like the episode ends with them both just going to bed. Like they don't, like nothing happened. Like you got to give me something, man.
Just crank up the horniness meter a little bit. Just
a
little.
This is an advanced type of blue balls. We're leaving a lot to my imagination, where I had to come up with a full last episode where they're just gagging and fucking.
This is like trying to jerk off without porn when you get a boner out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, I got a hard boner right now. I'm gonna try to crank it, and then you start thinking about the Red Sox, and then, then
you're like, oh no, I'm only supposed to think about that during sex. Oh fuck, I want to come right now.
And then the boner starts to go down because you think about how the Red Sox are.
This is happening right now. Why are you thinking about the Red Sox?
They're only 5.5 games back, and I think that we're in the middle of or end of July here. They could easily make a play and make it into the playoffs in the postseason.
It's like jerking off without a boat. Yeah, it's like jerking off soft.
Yeah.
This guy's done Adderall. I do like the light gag at the end where she's in a new apartment and she just keeps flipping light switches and she's like, oh, fuck, that's not right. And she keeps going back to flip more light switches. That was a good bit.
The few relatable things in the entire show, yes.
That was good.
The
entire show was a little relatable to me because I have a technically, a
hot stepsister.
I have a hot stepsister who is way out of my league and constantly has boyfriends that I've never met. But
she's like, oh, look at how hot my boyfriend is, and she like bends over and like puts her pussy in your face.
Yeah. That's always happening.
She's wet.
At Thanksgiving.
She's wet. She's like, look at how wet my pussy is for my boyfriend.
Oh, cool.
How are we supposed to?
Oh, cool! Is he also a
PhD?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they both. He lives in Brooklyn.
I've got a PhD.
Pretty hard dick. Oh.
Yeah. How are we supposed to interact with each other? What does it mean?
Yeah, he's like, how do we behave? How do I be a brother to her. And his coworker girlfriend is like, what? Whoever he's talking
to. Anyway, let's talk about the next show that I'm sure will be a lot better.
Yeah, that was baffling. Ramen Aka Neko, Red Cat Ramen. Speaking of shows that are what they say on the box, manga, E&H Productions. I was like, what is this? I should have read the title.
No pun intended here. This is a straight up catfish. This is bullshit.
You think so?
The OP and the ED are both so good.
You think so?
They're both they're meticulously crafted and they look awesome.
It's just cats making ramen. That's what the show is.
No, but like they're well done and well executed and animated well and quirky and fun. And then you get to what the show is, and it is the most bare bones, lackluster, lazy shit. And that's the off-putting thing. It's like you showed me an OP that has fun in it, and there is no fun to be had in this program.
It's just not enough, man. My notes are so short. The absolute best and funniest thing about this show is that the main character, the one sort of human character, the girl who works at this cat ramen shop, has the saddest, most pathetic eyes. I mean, like, have you ever seen a cat that, like, one of those cats that looks permanently sad, and it's just like, oh, like they nailed that, and she looks so fucking pathetic in every shot. She looks like she's about to fucking break down and cry at every second, at every moment. It's genuinely impressive how much sadness and weakness they put into her face. She's so weak. I love it. You talk about the show for a while I use the bathroom.
Okay.
Good luck,
so
fucker.
The premise of the show is that there are cats that have a ramen shop and make ramen. And the girl wants to work there because she likes the fact that the cats make ramen. And let's run through the characters that I can remember off the top of my head. There is like an orange cat who owns the place and is like the operator of the establishment. There's a tiger who is in the back. She's responsible for making the noodles, and she comes out as intimidating at one point, but she's actually very shy. There's a white cat who's like a prima donna waitress, sort of Idaru type, where people come in and love her because she's got like a fun sort of Genki personality, but she's actually a little bit of a bitchy behind the scenes. There is a gray cat who I don't know what he does. And then there's like a high-pitched voice cat who's like kind of responsible for setting up the bowls, I think. This obviously sucks. But goddamn, I gotta see if Declan has. You might just make him play the entire OP and ED in full, because they're really, really very nice. And the OP, like the song is catchy, the visuals are amazing, and I'm pretty sure I could, like, if you showed them to people, like, hey, look at this OP. Does this look like a show you'd want to watch? I think you'd get a lot of people who would be like, yeah, I'm in. And then the lack of content is crazy here. I was texting with somebody earlier, and I was like, they were asking like what I was watching, and I was like sending them descriptions of the shows, and they're like, "Oh, that doesn't sound too bad." I'm like, "No, it's terrible," you know. And I'm like, and I would send them like screenshots, like, "Oh."
Anyways, yeah, like, I love it. Best show of the season.
Can you play the OP
of this?
Yeah, just play the OP.
Okay. Do you want the video too, or
Yeah, play the whole thing. I'm gonna mute you while we play the OP.
You're gonna mute me?
Yeah, well, I have to mute your Discord. I guess I'll mute the stream. It's fine. Okay. I just want to look at it. I just want to look at it and see like how deceptive this is. You know, I feel like I've been duped.
Aka Neko. Yes, this one. Okay. Where's the opening in here? Is it? Okay, I think it's. Oh yeah, right here. We're gonna get copyrighted so hard. I think it's small. mean, it's like fine. I don't mind when she starts bouncing. I was like, wait, what? Whoa, what's going on there? Whoa.
Single song, yeah. But it's got more energy than the show has for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, a fucking inchworm has more energy than the show.
Keep playing it. Keep playing it.
Oh, look at her bounce.
I love graphics. Like, I like the style of the OP. Why did they have to do CG for the fucking bean sprouts, dude?
Do you want to draw those things? I mean, come on.
For this, no. I don't know. It's kind of a fun OP. I think it's got some character.
It's not bad, yeah, but like I wasn't fooled as to the content of the show. Like I did not have like very high expectations just based on this.
Play Deputy once a year.
Play the old man singing OP.
No,
we talked about that.
Yeah, come on, man. What the fuck?
Talking about cat ramen now.
Next time you're on, we could play the fucking old man singing shit. Yeah, no, I'm good with this. Do I? You watched 2.5 Jigen no.
Are we done with this?
Oh
yeah, you didn't watch. Oh, was that the last one? Oh yeah.
Oh, well, we're not gonna watch the show about gay boys making movies because I live it every single day.
Yeah, that's Tasogari out focus. We usually watch every show, but like this one is just straight up so gay. I get it. You know, we've seen it many times before. I just couldn't. I couldn't in good conscience.
I'll watch it and I'll talk about it. It's fine.
Oh, please.
2.5 Jigen no Ririsa. Do I have to watch this for next episode, or do you think
please
you tell me about it?
Please.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
all
it's
right.
not. Don't get too excited, but it's you know, because
it's
I feel
worth
like
it for at least me to suffer through it.
Yeah, this is you know, it's like you know, instead of what if a girl liked you, this is sort of what if a girl didn't necessarily like you, but she's so autistic that she just got naked a lot in front of you. I'm feeling the theme for this season is going to be just shows that are like absolutely nothing except pure blue balls. Like not even good and not even that particularly erotic, but like the content that is there is just like there to give you just like an uncomfortable boner, and that's it.
You know, at least we haven't been just completely fucking overloaded with isekais yet. I'm sure they're coming, but did we see a single isekai? We saw one. It was the fucking. It was the Isekai Suicide Squad. That was the only thing we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we've watched. You gotta watch the what new Code Geass season? The what? That's not an Anna chart, is it?
Is it like a spin-off thing?
Well, I would hope so. Summer.
Is it a spin-off of Akito the Exiled?
No way. I'm not seeing any Code. What the fuck is going on with Code Geass?
Has he been had? Code Geass Rosé of the Recapture Lavender.
That sounds so flamboyant. That is a very Code Geass title. I like it.
I should start. I've been watching nothing but MASH for 3 weeks now.
Jesus.
It's
See,
so good.
The color scheme in this promo art is June 21st, 2024. Whoa, 12 episodes. It's an ONA, so it's like a pretty low rating on my anime list, which, I mean, if it's like in the 6s, normally that can be an okay sign. But
does it have Rarushi?
It does, but he's supporting cast.
Yeah, I don't care. Nope, gotta be the main. I am not obligated to watch this.
They could have another cool guy. I don't. Pros of the recapture.
They will not.
Man, how is this not on Anna chart? That Wikipedia says it's a 4-part animated science. So is it 12 or 4? Oh, there were 4 anime films in the first half of this year, like last month actually, and now there's an ONA It's 12 episodes. Disney Plus. What?
Churro's here.
Which? Oh, shit, really? Oh, my God, Truro, it's been so long. You're a mod. I forgot you're a mod. It's not Kino. The verdict is in.
There we go. Definitive.
Of all words of tongue and pen, the saddest are these. It's not Kino.
Yeah, that's the saddest short story ever written. For sure.
Yeah.
Next to for sale condoms never worn.
Yeah, baby shoes, not Kino.
I've been, again, like I said, I've been watching nothing but MASH for like 2 months now. Like before bed every night, I'll watch like 3 or 4 episodes, and maybe I'll just start watching Code Geass again. Or I guess I should really
never go wrong. Yeah.
Finish Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I'm so close, but I've seen Code Geass. That's the thing with Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's actually really distressing to watch because you have to like see characters that you've been with for 90 episodes snuff it.
Yeah, because it's like serious.
Yeah, right. And like I when things happen to characters that I enjoy watching, I get upset. And with Code Geass, I'm sure I could just turn my brain off and be like, ha ha. He moved the king into a position where he can't move it. That's crazy.
He made an illegal move. It's kind of crazy. There have been a few Code Geass-esque moments that slightly stirred my cold heart. Yeah, that's about what I would expect from a new Code Geass project.
Legend of Galactic Heroes, Happy D says he has to rewatch Legend of Galactic Heroes. Legend of Galactic Heroes is just one of the best pieces of media I've ever seen in my life, period. I think it might be like amongst like the top 50, 25 pieces of media I've ever consumed. Just unbelievable. Anyway,
makes sense.
If you want to hear my thoughts, on the first arc of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, you can watch my Skate 3 stream, Dredgens of the Narlactic Heroes from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, sorry, I derailed that one by calling a drug dealer midstream. But that by itself is a fun. That was a fun little arc.
Yeah, you called a person who was clearly a DEA
I don't know what was going on with. I don't know if he was planning on robbing whoever showed up, or if it was a cop. Yeah, but it was funny. Whatever it was.
That's it. I'm good.
I'm all good. I'm all set. Yeah. Thank you all for you're welcome for this episode.
Yeah, we've got about 3 weeks before we have 3 weeks until we are no longer able to record again. So,
wait, what? Why?
I've got a lot of work coming up. So,
oh boy, projects.
3 weeks should be doable.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah. Yes, thank you all for joining us. This girl's face sums up my thoughts. It's not the worst season ever, probably.
Yeah, it's, you know what it is? It's deceptively mediocre. It's so
very average so far. Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't put anything on 2x speed, and I almost wish there was something in here I could have put at 2x speed. You just want to feel something, even if it's hatred. Just a good, honest, clearly bad show immediately would have been good. You know, like something where there's there's no substance, so I can just basically look at Twitter the entire time. That would have been nice. But no, everything really expected, it demanded at least some level of attention. Maybe next time we get like 3 or 4 isekais and I don't have to think anymore.
Yeah, let me just talk about that. I love the concept of isekai. What if you were in a different place? Yeah. We'll try again next time. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Hey, don't have to thank me.
And got in my truck, and Lord, I'm drunk, and I ain't drove this bad in a billion years, and this rusty Chevy's a piece of junk. But baby, when it rains, I drink, and lately it's been raining a lot, so maybe you and me can link. But first, I gotta get to your spot. I'm swerving and smashing into every tree and deer and hay till it's cowboy season. These torque ties are turning to mud, and the more I drink it, the more it floods. Oh lady, let me love you the right way. I need you on this country night, babe. Yeah, it's a 10-minute from my place, but first I gotta make it out of my driveway. This country living, it's what we do. We're fishing and grilling our cowboy boots. And girl, I gotta see that body tonight, but first I gotta learn how to fucking drive. Cause baby, when it rains I drink, and lately it's been raining a lot. So maybe you and me can link, but first I gotta get to your spot. I'm swerving and slashing into every tree and deer and hay till it's cowboy season. These torque ties are turning to mud, and the more I drink, yeah, the more it floods. Oh lady, let me love you the right way. I need you on this country night, babe. Yeah, it's a 10-minute from my place, but first I gotta make it out of my driveway. Yeah, baby, when it rains, I drink. And lately it's been raining a lot. So maybe you and me can link. But first I gotta get to your spot. I'm swerving and smashing into every tree and deer and hay till it's cowboy season. These torque ties are turning to mud, and the more I drink, yeah, the more it floods. Oh lady, let me love you the right way. I need you on this country night, babe. Yeah, it's a 10-minute from my place, but first I gotta make it out of my driveway.